Jamie Khan won the Best Child Actor award at the 44th Golden Film Festival. For his incredible acting skills, at the age of 11, he won stunning popularity and the love of all viewers. Since childhood, Jamie was used to being ahead of everyone. He served in the army with ease. The film Warrior, in which he played, attracted more than 10 million viewers. Jamie also had success in television shows. The clothes he advertised sold out immediately. Even his own franchise proved incredibly successful, with 100 restaurants opening. Thus, in the 13 years since his debut, Jamie has achieved the status of being unrivaled in South Korea. But he lost all of that. More precisely, everything was taken away from him. It seems like 5 years have passed since that incident in his restaurant. He even stopped keeping track of the time of day. For some reason, he remembered one comment. There is no point in worrying about celebrities, they all have a great life. You might be wondering why things turned out this way. Jamie was accused of fraud, stock market manipulation, and other things. The latest scandal left his restaurant chain suffering huge losses. He insisted that all this was not true. Jamie was accused of suppressing small franchises and was suspected of regularly using illegal substances. All charges against him were dropped in court. But there is no point in this. People believe in what they themselves want to believe. Someone knocks on the door and says that Jamie has received a package. But he didn't order anything. Perhaps it's a reporter's trap again. There is a box by the door. Jamie takes her. It seems like we got away with it. The box says, "I'll sell you the future." The sender is not specified. Jamie opens the box. There is a regular phone inside. Besides, it's quite old. Suddenly the phone starts ringing. It's unexpected that it's turned on. Jamie picks up the phone. His life has gone downhill, and because of this, he doesn't want to show himself in public anymore. But there is no need to worry. Jamie hangs up without listening to the rest of the conversation. Damn phone scammers will come up with anything for easy money. Jamie throws the phone on the couch. He turns on the TV. Today, their guest is the incredibly popular newcomer to show business, Chen Sungbin. This is the boy from Fun Pictures. He has matured a lot. Then Jamie notices something strange. On the screen is the number from which he was just called. The bell rings again. But Jamie definitely turned off his phone. He extends his hand to accept the challenge. The robot calls him by name and hopes that he will not miss this opportunity. This is a chance to change your life. Effectiveness is guaranteed, a completely free 7-day period. If Jamie agrees, he should press 1 to refuse. He should press 2. Well, he'll listen to what useless crap they're trying to sell him. Their service will randomly configure a future setting. This unique experience can be used as a springboard for a life-changing change. The robot offers to choose one of 3 options: 6 o'clock, 3:30, 9:20. If Jamie chooses any option, someone will likely contact him. Let him just try. He will arrange it for him. The chosen option is 6 o'clock. At 6 in the morning, popular actor Chen Sungbin will mysteriously die in his car. The police initially think it was a car accident, but after finding a farewell letter, it becomes clear that he committed suicide. On TV, Chen is asked how he feels lately. Everyone is talking about nothing but him. Everything is great. His senior colleagues also praised him. He is very grateful to them all. There is no way that he will commit suicide. Jamie mutes his phone. Better go eat. It's hard to believe he's heating up a 3-minute curry for himself in a dark, 1-room apartment. If they find out about this, they'll probably burst out laughing. Jamie looks into the refrigerator. There are 980,000 won lying there. This is all the remaining savings and a kind of report before the end. Jamie will cope. He will manage to find a solution. The girl asked if he was really to blame for the incident that was reported in the news. If he had answered her then, perhaps she would have believed him. Although people only believe in what they themselves want to believe. Maybe if Jamie posts a video called "Failed Star in Tears," he'll be able to make money from the views. Morning comes. Unfortunately, it turned out to be not at all kind. At about 6 o'clock, a terrible incident occurred. According to eyewitnesses, aspiring actor Chen Sungbin died in a car accident. This is the conclusion reached by police officers who arrived at the scene. However, there are rumors that the actor has been in an extremely depressed state lately. A note found in the deceased's car confirms the suicide theory. The footage shows the scene of the incident. The road barrier is severely bent, and the car is in extremely poor condition, with items believed to belong to Chen Sungbin found inside. The chosen option is 6 hours. The actor named Chen Sungbin will die. Jamie can't believe it. He turns on the laptop to find information about Chen. Jamie types his name. Information about Chen's death emerges. The bell rings again. The voice on the phone said he could sell Jamie the future. He can't find the phone. That one is lying under the sofa. This number again. Jamie has 6 days of free service left, so hopefully he'll take advantage of this opportunity to change his life. The robot prompts you to press 1 to continue, then you need to select one of the options. Same voice, same pattern. Jamie chooses 8:20. He must already know about the death of that young actor. Terrible news, but it is nothing compared to the miserable death that awaits Jamie. A once famous actor died. His body was found in a semi-basement. The most popular version is suicide due to a terrible financial situation. The famous actor died alone in a one-room apartment. But there is no need to worry. With them, Jamie has a chance to change the future. It is at 8:20 in the morning that he will take a step towards changing his destiny. The clock shows 8:20. This phone number has been deactivated at the subscriber's request. Jamie is trying to find information about the number. Nothing found. After all, these are ordinary swindlers, they cannot seriously predict the future. No need to guess, the next call will reveal whether they are scammers or not. But this time, we have to wait for the call. It's already evening. Finally, the phone rings again. There are 5 days of free service left. You can choose one of 3 options: 1:10, 7:30 in the evening, 9:15 in the evening. This time, let it be the second option. At 7:30, there will be a match between Mikan and Venito. Everyone expects the victory of the football club Mikan, but the sending off of the player Alonso from the field and the awarded penalty will allow Venito to win. So, football. Jamie turns on the laptop. The match will take place tomorrow evening. The commentators are delighted to welcome viewers to today's clash between Mikan and Venito. Considering their recent matches, Mikan looks like a clear favorite. This match is important for both teams, as the outcome will affect their chances of qualifying for the Champions League. Jamie is starting to feel sleepy. While they were talking, the game had almost begun. Jamie wakes up to the sound of a disturbance. It was a clear foul on Alonso's part. I wonder how the referee will react. He's probably getting ready to show a card. Yes, it's a red card. The referee sends the player off the field. This was an extremely unfortunate turn of events for Mikan in the second half of the match, and now they have also been awarded a penalty. Hardly anyone expected the game to take such a turn. Veneto wins 1-0. Something like this cannot simply be predicted. That voice on the phone is telling the truth. The bell rings again. There are only 4 days of free service left. Jamie has been dragging his feet for too long. This time, he will choose the earliest option, 2:30. At this time, a match will take place between the clubs Benley and Tottenham, this time in the Premier League. Jamie puts on his jacket. No one doubts Tottenham will win, but manager Benley will decide to use a substitute. After this, in the 38th minute of the second half, the player Woods will score the decisive goal and bring victory to his team. The outside world still frightens Jamie. But if he doesn't take advantage of this opportunity, he will deeply regret it. Jamie runs into the store. He asks to be allowed to place a bet. He hoped that no one would recognize him. However, he was out of luck. He really does look like Jamie Khan. Schoolgirls recognize him too. He runs away, incurable from addiction. This scoundrel tried to strangle other small entrepreneurs. Jamie just imagined it. There is no point in being afraid. Let them recognize him. Who cares? He can't miss such a chance. Perhaps the seller recognized him. It looks like this is his first time betting. Tickets can only be bought for a maximum of 100,000 won at one store. There are special sheets over there, you need to fill them out. Just don't bet too much. This means Jamie must predict the outcome of at least 2 games. But he only knows the result of 1 match. At the same time, Huddersfield plays against Wolverhampton. There are only 3 possible outcomes. Jamie will bet 300,000 on each outcome. This probably means he needs to place 30,000 bets at 10 different stores. If he bets everything, he will definitely win. He has little time. Finally, Jamie comes home. He collapses onto the sofa. As he thought, the outside world is a terrible place. The odds for Benley to win the first leg are 6.70 tenths, and for Huddersfield to lose 1.20 tenths, which, if multiplied together, would give a total of around 8. That's 2.5 million. Jamie jumps up from the couch. He is looking for the outcomes of matches. The prediction came true, Benley won, and Huddersfield too, and the odds on them were 5.95. So, in the bet on Benley, Jamie got odds of 670, and in the bet on Huddersfield, 595, and all this needs to be multiplied by 300,000. This is not 2.5 million at all. That's 12 million. It was not for nothing that Jamie decided to go outside. The phone rings. Jamie grabs the phone. This number again. There are 3 days of free service left. The suggested options are 7 in the evening, 7:40, 5:57 in the morning. This time, you can raise the stakes. The odds for the 7 o'clock match are too low. Today is Saturday. Jamie won't be able to withdraw money yet, and there is practically no cash left. 5:57 in the morning sounds ominous. Chen Sunbin died at 6 in the morning. Jamie will choose the second option. The 751st lottery draw is scheduled for 7:40. This is a huge jackpot, but you need to buy a ticket. So, I'll have to go outside again. But Jamie has a clear vision of his goal. All that is required of him is to rush forward to look fear in the eye. At 7:40 in the evening, a man named Sam Lee will buy 5 tickets at a lottery shop in Yongin, but will soon accidentally drop one of them. Another man, Kim Jing-woo, will pick up the dropped ticket and win a substantial amount. Jamie chose without thinking. He has very little time. It's already getting dark. The journey will take about 40 or 50 minutes. By the time Sam Lee drops the ticket, Jamie should be there. This is the best prize, 2.5 billion. Hurry, it's a matter of life and death. Jamie will pay well if they get there in time. He comes to Yongin. I gave that amount and didn't take the change. 10 minutes left. Here is the lottery shop. Jamie only has one try. A man comes out of a store with lottery tickets in his hand. This is probably Sam Lee. 2 minutes left. Kim Jing-woo will pick up the fallen lottery ticket. Jamie has to get ahead of him. Sam Neill is turning. Jamie follows him. Then a man appears, walking towards Sam. It must be Kim Jing-woo. He looks at his phone. Sam almost crossed the road. Then the ticket falls out of his pocket. Kim is about to notice him. Jamie starts running. Meanwhile, the traffic light turned red for pedestrians. Jamie almost got hit by a truck. The driver starts swearing. Kim Jing-woo comes to Jamie to make sure he is okay. Kim wants to help him get up. Ticket for the same seat. Jamie jumps up and runs. He picks up a ticket. I almost died. Since Jamie knows the winning number, he can buy more of the same tickets. If he hadn't given so much money to the taxi driver, he would have been able to buy even more. Time's up. Jamie scans the QR code. He took second place. Perhaps his decisions changed the future. If his actions did indeed influence the course of events, there are 3 possible reasons. Kim Jing-woo was distracted by Jamie and didn't pick up the dropped ticket. After picking it up, Jamie bought 3 more tickets with the same numbers to maximize his profit. He also returned Sam Neill's lost ticket. And yet, he did get some benefit, the prize money, which he will collect on Monday. He has 2 more chances. Jamie comes for the winnings. They ask him to wait a minute. While the employee is busy, you can change the SIM card. The celebrity who ranked first in terms of number of search queries was Terry Hope. One of the most popular stars in show business is rumored to soon be joining FNF. Previously, he worked independently of major agencies. Terry told Jamie that the more people involved, the greater the risk, and you have to be very careful when signing a contract with an agency. Jamie always considered Terry to be a very reliable person, his self-discipline and unwillingness to become dependent on brands commanded respect. And for some reason, he needed this contract. FNF doesn't even have the cleanest reputation. Jamie's bank book and card are ready. They also give him candy. The employee recognized him. She apologizes for her tactlessness. She has been his devoted fan for a very long time. It's hard to believe she's seeing Jamie in person. She joined the fan club from the very beginning and has been following his career since his debut. And after that incident, she was very upset, but she was happy to see Jamie again. His face was in every newspaper. He was accused of a huge number of crimes. It's all a lie. Even the court acquitted him, and these vile media were just looking for an excuse to blacken Jamie's name. He could not even imagine that there were still those who sincerely believed in him, even though he disappeared from society and locked himself in his apartment. Perhaps he himself built walls that kept out the love and support of those around him. Jamie thanks the woman. She would be glad to see him on TV again. Just under a week ago, his savings were a measly 980,000 won, but now he has 98 million in his account. The news of Terry Hope's contract has rocked the industry, with the market buzzing with the potential profit. Although the official decision will be announced at today's press conference, insiders are confident that the contract for the transfer to FNF has already been signed. Their stock price skyrocketed overnight. So now Cheryl Rice and Terry Hope will be working together. It's scary to imagine how much money they will make. FNF's market cap has risen to 75 billion, a real jackpot. Betting on FNF seems like a safe bet. However, Jamie is betting on FNF's biggest opponent. He buys shares of Big C Entertainment. This guy looks a lot like Jamie Khan. He got a haircut. National star Terry Hope unexpectedly signed a contract with Big C Entertainment. It looks like stockholders will be unhappy today. There were rumors that the hero of their story had joined FNF, but the situation turned upside down, and many investors are suffering losses. The man who bought Big C shares made a good profit. The voice on the phone said that star Terry Hope would unexpectedly sign a contract with Big C Entertainment. As predicted, their shares reached unprecedented highs. However, the free period ends tomorrow. There is one last chance left. Jamie uses it to finally turn his life around. Finally, they call him again. Once again, you are asked to choose one of the options. The option he chose was a car accident. This is a completely useless prediction. And it's on the last day of the free trial that the robot wants Jamie to go and prevent an accident. He'd better go to bed. At 11:50 in the evening, Martin Shojin, in a state of severe alcohol intoxication, will board bus number 4450 that left the station. Because a drunk man starts to distract the driver, the bus collides with a truck. As a result, 2 passengers will die and 5 more will be seriously injured. The bus doors are closing, but Jamie manages to jump inside. This is the same bus. There are 7 passengers on it. And among them is Martin Shojin, one of those 2. Nothing is happening yet. The bus brakes abruptly. Martin wakes up. He starts yelling at the driver. He apologizes. Martin went berserk. So it's him. Martin heads towards the driver. He asks him to sit down in his seat. It is dangerous to move around on a moving bus. Jamie isn't sure he needs to get involved. One of the passengers had a small child. He woke up. We must act. Martin bursts into the driver's cabin. He grabs it. A truck is approaching. 2 passengers will die and 5 will be seriously injured. It can't be delayed any longer. Otherwise, Jamie himself might die. He pushes Martin. Red light, the bus needs to stop. The driver brakes just as the truck approaches. Martin really is insane. They need to stop somewhere. Jamie will take him to the police. Martin pounces on him. Jamie calls him by name. It seems Martin has seen him somewhere. On TV. Jamie is very happy to meet him. A man going through a midlife crisis needs comfort and recognition. He seems to have had a bit too much to drink. Jamie trips him. Martin falls. Yes, Jamie did it on purpose. He could have killed him, but he didn't, so you can thank him. This incident may be considered a good deed, but it has nothing to do with Jamie. The voice had said that it would change his life, but the last prediction turned out to be completely useless. Then the phone rings again. Jamie has met all the requirements to upgrade to paid service. To secure paid services, he must appear at the designated location at 3 o'clock in the morning in 3 days. If he wants to use their service, he needs to prepare 10 million. Jamie will have just enough time to sell the shares and get the money. It was as if they had calculated the schedule for selling shares in advance. Moreover, the call came immediately after Jamie had resolved the problem with the bus. It's obvious that someone was watching him all this time. In 3 days, around midnight, he will receive the parcel. It will be lying in front of the door. Jamie opens the door. The package is indeed here. He was advised to take an umbrella with him. The stated amount matches. They even prepared transport, and a very good one at that. Jamie gets behind the wheel. He transferred the money to them. Now it's probably possible to get the address. It's time to remove the mask from the owner of this phone. It starts to rain. 3 minutes left until arrival. It doesn't look like there's anything at this address. Jamie has arrived, and they seriously want him to go there. Nevertheless, he goes. I guess I just need to follow the lamps. Suddenly Jamie falls. He needed to pull himself together. He had experienced similar scenarios on set many times. Probably need to go up. Jamie starts to climb the stairs. Some sound reaches him. He asks who is there. Stop hiding. Jamie finds a stick. He picks her up and continues to climb the stairs. When he got up, he discovered another parcel. There's another phone in the box. At least they're being responsible. Jamie became a client of the paid bronze service. Services come into effect immediately after receiving this phone, the car he arrived in, a gift. The phone is ringing. You scared me. You could have just sent a text message. Jamie has successfully implemented the opportunities he has received. His current balance is 30 services. He is asked to choose one of the options presented: 9 o'clock in the evening, 900, 1 o'clock in the morning, 48. There are 4 options at once, and before they only offered time of day, Jamie will choose the highest number. Despite a modest budget of 8.5 billion, the film The Killing, directed by a director who personally wrote the script, will attract more than 9 million viewers. Just don't tell me that Jamie should go back to this damn film industry. The lamp breaks. Jamie finds himself in a completely different place, but he was just inside the building. There is a completely different landscape in front of him. That day, he was unable to find out who the voice belonged to, but the so-called paid service is in no way inferior to previous predictions. Sungchun Bio has uncovered the secret of a new pancreatic cancer treatment method, bringing hope to patients. By reaching the bronze level, Jamie received bonus information about Sungchun Bio promotions. They have been growing for 5 days now. There is only one unresolved issue left. If the director who wrote the script doesn't take over the filming of the movie will be a flop. 5 years have passed since Jamie left the film industry. That's why he must meet this man. This is his first manager, Will Min-jae. 5 years later, Jamie suddenly remembered him, and the first thing he asks for is to help him return. Will is no longer his manager. No need to get upset. All this time, Jamie had no way to contact him. Even though his business was going downhill, he dared to ignore Will's calls. And that was not how the man who had supported him his entire career should be treated. This is the reason why Jamie turned to him. Will was the first person he remembered after 5 years. Just like 18 years ago, when they first met. Jamie, as always, only thinks about his own skin. So Will won't help him. It will help. There is no other way. Only the movie Jamie asked about was a complete failure. The project fell into disfavor from the very beginning, with all investors and distributors fleeing. A key supporting actor, Chen Sungbin, has died, and Jamie knows how this business works. If a project starts with a scandal, it has almost no chance of success. That's why the director is in a hopeless situation and is drowning his problems in alcohol. I think his name is Martin Shonjin. A few days ago, he was detained for causing a disturbance on a bus and placed in a detention center. Jamie doesn't want to act anymore. This time, he decided to invest in the project. Even though this is Category B, even such projects require enormous sums of money. Jamie asks to clarify what kind of studio it is. He comes there. The studio director plays golf. He hasn't improved much in skill. Movie Truck was the last studio Jamie worked for. Liam Kieran is glad to see him. He was worried if he even had money for food, but he looks good. Maybe he wants to get back into business. Jamie has finally retired from acting. He still has a chance to recover. Liam sincerely feels sorry for him. He wants to help. If he's truly sorry, let him show me the script for the film Murder. Jamie reads the script. He always had a knack for recognizing promising projects. If he were still an actor, he would sign the contract without a second thought. This is a very high-quality script, but there is one catch. It turns out the script was written by that pig. A film is always an extremely complex project. It takes a strong director's hand to effectively manage a huge staff of employees. But with such a leader, it is practically impossible to gather 9 million viewers. Jamie begins to doubt the veracity of this prediction. He asks if Liam knows Martin Shojin. They went to the same university, and he had been looking down lately, so Liam bought the script and gave him a chance to work on it. But things didn't go according to plan. So this script wasn't written by Martin. Jamie asks to name the studio's income with 10 million viewers. First, taxes need to be taken into account. After the share is divided, part of the payments goes to the distributor and investors, and in the end, about 20 billion will remain. If this is the studio's share, then the total income will be around 100 billion. Enough about sad things, it's better to sit somewhere, like in the good old days. You need to find an actor who will attract the interest of investors and then persuade the scriptwriter to make the film. Nobody even knows what this scenario is worth. Jamie asks if Liam will resume filming if an actor is brought to him. With John Lane, they'll definitely get 10 million viewers. This is a top actor that no one could even imagine. And not just top-notch, but the best of the best. The hotel worker apologizes for keeping John waiting. Their new guy made a mistake. John calms him down. Then Jamie calls him. I wonder what the expression on his face was when he realized that his friends had betrayed him and gone over to John's side. I wonder why he even called them, said it was urgent, and they were drinking here. There is a knock at the door. Jamie enters. Friends didn't know he was coming. John gave them a surprise. That's why he suggested meeting right now, the childish bastard. Jamie must have missed them. John is still just as simple as he is, that's why he needs him. Hannah wanted to call Jamie, but she had a very busy schedule abroad. They were all very busy, and it wasn't easy to get in touch with Jamie. Kevin completely forgot to check on him. When you're that busy, everything can slip your mind, especially after 5 years. Kelly asks why Jamie was avoiding her. She couldn't get through to him. She wants to know if what was written in those articles was true. There was an article that said Jamie was innocent. Kelly wants to hear it from him. She wanted to know then too. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It's important that Jamie explains himself. He doesn't say anything and still hopes that they will understand. They won't believe it anyway. Kelly asks for at least a modicum of respect for the people who are waiting for an answer. They better stop worrying about others and mind their own business. It seems Jamie and John have a lot to talk about, so we can finish for today. They are leaving. You don't need them around. There's no good in getting involved with Jamie. He is still as influential as ever. Jamie wanted to invite John to a movie. He seems to have no understanding of his situation. He's an outdated loser. They wouldn't even buy him on AliExpress. John will like it. He can't believe Jamie asked him to meet to talk such nonsense. John is very grateful that the celebrity is concerned about him, but they are on completely different levels. If Jamie wants to contact him, let him join the fan base. When Dan Hoon's movie flopped, Jamie bought some drinks and got drunk. That day, he came out and also said that he was dating someone and showed a photo. In this photograph, Jamie saw John's beautiful face. This is the first time he hears about coming out. It was just a drinking bout. I wonder if journalist Do-hoon will believe this. This is the journalist who, on John's tip, sent Jamie to hell. It's true that director Dan Hung came out under the influence and even showed photos, but Jamie wasn't sure. The photo was blurry, and it was a long time ago. However, John's body speaks for him. The guy in the photo is him. Jamie takes out the script. This is the movie he was talking about. If John does this movie and it gets made safely, Jamie will forget about that photo. John won't fall for something like that. Yes, it's a bluff, but from that moment on, two thoughts will be stuck in his head. It's the suspicion that there's a photograph somewhere, and the anxiety that it might surface. Even if it does exist, people won't believe such nonsense. Faith is a weak feeling. They are just hyenas who do nothing but wait for a spectacle. John knows better than anyone what will happen if Jamie leaves him to be torn apart. After all, John did this to him. The entertainment industry always demands stimulation, and the public has no reason to believe them. John knows perfectly well that he could find himself in Jamie's place at any moment. He gives him 3 days. If John doesn't make a decision within this time, he will see the photo in the article. By the way, he talked about the fan base. Jamie will upload it there too. He's leaving. John looks at the script. He'll like it. He knows how to choose good projects. After being locked in the closet, Jamie begins to play some role among people again. Perhaps this casting was for him. Jamie gets another call from that same number. 9 o'clock in the evening, wine. 1 o'clock in the morning, 48. Jamie chooses wine. Top actress Kelly Jinju is caught up in a drug trafficking scandal. Police arrived following a tip from the owner of the Rough Garden Party Hall in Gangnam. The fact that hallucinogens were only found in the wine Kelly drank caused a huge stir. Jamie has been searching for information about this all night, but nothing has come up. It turns out that Kelly moved to Big C Entertainment. In fact, she was the main actress in FNF since her debut. Terry Hope defied all expectations when he announced he was moving to Big C. Terry's transition, Chen Sungbin's death, and now Kelly. Something is happening between FNF and Big C. If you know the future, it's no wonder you'll be treated like a psychopath. If a real incident occurs, Jamie will be the prime suspect, as he was mentioned in the drug scandal. The main thing is to reveal the truth. He will start from here. This is a rough garden. If I take a photo, maybe something will come of it. Someone is leaving the party hall. Jamie had seen this man somewhere. He takes wine out of the trunk. It was announced that hallucinogens were found only in the wine Kelly drank. The man turns around. Jamie is hiding. He managed to take a photo of this man. This is wine. Kelly will drink wine containing illegal substances, and the owner of Rough Garden will announce this in advance. If you dig up information, something is bound to come up. Jamie follows the man who brought the wine. A drug scandal can be devastating for an actor, even just from rumors alone. It's like being naked in front of the whole country. The truth fades into the background, and no one will listen to the one who is accused. Like Jamie, Kelly will insist that she does not use illegal substances. Her image as an actress will be associated only with this. No one else should have to suffer like Jamie. The man he is following drives up to the Big C Entertainment building. They may be deliberately attracting people to start hunting. Given the cost of investment, it probably hasn't even paid off. Jamie waited for the man to exit the building. He follows him again. Nothing special is happening yet. The problem is timing. Jamie doesn't know when the incident will happen. Evidence needs to be collected before that. This time, the man comes to the FNF head office. He approaches someone, probably a security guard. This is too cruel. They are not gangsters. Suddenly someone knocks on Jamie's car window. Parking is not allowed here. Jamie drives away. Big C and FNF are related. John is reading the script. I don't know what the hell Jamie is up to. Will Min-jae calls him. He looked at the photos. This is the head of the PR department of Big C. Will saw him at showcases. His name is Ben Sungmin, and he seems to be quite influential in his field. There is some bandit next to him in the photo. If Will is already full, they will get down to business together. He is not his servant. Jamie is driving. He'll call back tonight. Chen Sungbin, who was in FNF, committed suicide. Terry Hope, who was negotiating with FNF, chose Big C at the last moment. And even Kelly, who had been with FNF for 10 years, announced she was moving to Big C, after which FNF's stock price plummeted. If they are going to use Kelly as a victim to hurt a competitor and profit from it, then she will not be able to escape it. But now things are different because Jamie knows the future. John calls him. He offers to make a deal. Jamie, of course, drags him into this because he wants something. John will provide him with information that he would very much like to obtain. This is information about the criminal who ruined Jamie's life. Jamie wants John to come to his house, or maybe meet in a cafe where everyone will see that he is communicating with scum. John agrees to come to Jamie's home. He will have a guest, so you should prepare. John comes and knocks on the door. When he enters, he finds a pile of garbage. Jamie invites him to sit down. John had his suspicions, but he didn't expect this. Looks like I'll have to sit here. John asks if Jamie really lived here for all 5 years. This means he felt what would happen to him if the photos were leaked. John can't be sure that Jamie won't publish them before filming. Ultimately, he will want revenge so that John will suffer too. He'll give information about who did this to Jamie, and he'll give him the photos, and they'll part ways on good terms. Jamie knows John snitched on Deathstalker. He gave him a chance because he was a puppet, and Jamie felt sorry for him. The only requirement for receiving photographs is a film. Big C CEO Alan Weiss asks how the party preparations are going. Everything is great. Kelly is participating in this event, so everything needs to be checked again and again. This is just a party to celebrate 11 years since their debut. Even the number is unflattering. There's no need to make such a big deal out of it. You can just buy a cake at the nearest bakery. And the director wants to make sure to show that their Kelly, who had such a hard time at FNF, was able to focus on her work at Big C. The fact that new people can adapt so easily here will motivate employees. So Kelly is just a publicity stunt, and the anniversary is an excuse. It's not an anniversary, but the first year of actress Kelly Jinju's new breakthrough. This is too much. It is important for families to get together to strengthen their bonds. This scandal will affect not only Kelly, but the entire Big C. John asks if he has to act in the film. If he read the script, then he knows better it's a good film, so the actor must be good too. There are many great actors, but the actor who can play the killer best is John. Therefore, photographs cannot be exchanged. Jamie agrees that John should get his too, so he will give him a gift. It turns out that John has to star in the film without receiving any guarantees. There is something bigger, the shares he owns. Need to sell Sungchun Bio shares. So Jamie somehow knows that John bought those shares. He is quite famous, the news is already everywhere. Celebrities can buy stocks too. There's nothing wrong with that. Let him sell it right now. Jamie is crazy. This drug took a very long time to develop. He also has shares, 1.5 billion, and he lives in this dump. Now he is going to sell these shares. The counterfeit drug scandal will break this afternoon. The sale is complete. John should sort out these shares before they become a pile of useless papers, and having received this information, he should also show sincerity. He's a regular at Rough Garden in Cheongdam-dong, and we need to secure a spot there for Jamie tomorrow. Big C director Alan Weiss was looking forward to this meeting, but he was met by a man he had not expected at all. Since Jamie couldn't contact him, he had no choice but to ask John for a favor. Kelly Jinju, Terry Hope, two significant figures, Jamie was very impressed with the recent ambitious investments. He overpraises Alan. It's not like Kelly and Terry are better than Jamie was in his prime. An official, yet strangely irritating, wary tone. Alan had heard that Jamie had been close to Kelly in the past. Alan seems to value her very much. Helping artists is his job. The head of the PR department and the owner of Rough Garden are just pawns. There must be someone influential behind them. It is impossible to find out this on your own. You need a sign to know whether you can trust Alan. He asks what Jamie wanted to discuss. He wonders why FNF got rid of Kelly. So he thinks they got rid of her. That's right, she was simply kicked out of the place she considered home. Kelly is a very strong girl, but she doesn't know how to use her power. She uses it to protect those around her. 10 years is a long time, but it also means there are a lot of people to take care of. Alan thought that this burden fell on her shoulders. He wanted to give her a new home so that she could relax and focus on her work. He seems sincere, but only half so. So he invited Kelly because she couldn't handle the stress. To hold hands, you first need to remove your masks. Jamie shows Alan a photo of Ben Sungmin. He delivers wine to Rough Garden. And on the same day, he enters the FNF building accompanied by some gangsters. It seems that the FNF has launched a hunt for Kelly. There are reports that today she will be served wine mixed with prohibited substances. It's a one-sided statement from Jamie Khan, who appeared out of nowhere for the first time in 5 years. Alan has recently signed contracts with many big stars. Probably considering the possible increase in capital, this is a great catch for FNF. One drug scandal and the investment drive will be cancelled, and Big C's share price will plummet. Jamie knows everything from internal plans to investment plans. Alan asks the secretary to contact Rough Garden immediately. Jamie grabs his hand. This is a great opportunity to get the whole story out there. Will had no intention of dealing with Jamie and his crazy ideas again. Jamie calls. He asks if Will has arrived. John has registered him as a guest who will be replacing him, so first you just need to go into the hall. Now it's Jamie's turn to hunt. Will enters the hall. He asks what he should do now. He needs to find the wine in the kitchen, the photo of which Jamie sent him. Will walks into the kitchen. There's a lot of wine here. Will has a keen eye and will quickly find what he needs. But there is a lot of wine here. However, Will soon finds the package that Ben Sungmin was carrying. He found it. Will asks what to do with this wine. No outsiders are allowed to enter here. Will thought this was a toilet. Ben walks past. Jamie was stuck in traffic. There is no time, only 1 block left. Alan must have strong legs. It will be faster if he runs. Alan was thinking about exactly that. Jamie only asks one thing, don't tell Kelly. It's curious why, but Alan still won't get an answer. He won't tell. Alan is running. Meanwhile, Will keeps an eye on Ben. He had already entered the kitchen. Now, the most important thing begins. This wine will be served only to Kelly. Under no circumstances should she be allowed to drink it. There's no time to explain. Will has to stop her. This is complete nonsense. Kelly's life depends on it. Will demands to know exactly what is in this wine. It contains a banned substance, and if Kelly drinks it, the same thing will happen to her as to Jamie. If so, you need to call the police. Will must remember that drug bust at Club G. One of their group tested positive. Jamie was eventually cleared, but the fact that he was there ruined his life. This time, the illegal substance in Kelly's wine, if she drinks it, will be much worse than it was with Jamie. He chose the wrong path. When he was really down, he never trusted Will. Jamie ignored him when he tried to make contact. Will report it to the police and let Jamie sort it out on his own. A cake for Kelly is wheeled past. And that same wine. Alan finally reaches Rough Garden. Kelly is poured wine. Jamie said that if they stopped the event and filed a report, it would go to the Drug Enforcement Agency. Telling them before the party starts will only give them a chance to escape. We must wait until Kelly's wine transfer is captured on camera. Using all the data and evidence Big C has collected, they will put an end to this in one blow. Timing is everything. An event to celebrate the 11th anniversary of actress Kelly Jinju's debut begins. Of course, we need to celebrate. Alan did a great job. As he requested, the security service is recording, and everything that happens at the event is also being recorded. You can come in. Just at that moment, Kelly is poured wine. This cake looks like a sign that it's time to ditch the diet and retire. Kelly asked for everything to go smoothly. But there's one thing you can't disagree with Alan on. Kelly is just an excuse. And today is a big day for the whole Big C family. Alan worked day and night for some worthless actress, and it's very touching. His employees, like him, work non-stop. To avoid losing face, Kelly will also give it her all. When she says Big C, let them all scream, no breaks. The police are on scene. Will prepares to distract Kelly. But then, someone distracts him. Will pushes the guy away. Kelly is about to drink wine. Will manages to knock the glass out of her hand. They haven't seen each other for a long time. Then the police show up. They were asked to take Kelly home. Then Alan will explain everything to her. They must all be very surprised. Will notices Ben. He runs away. He runs to the kitchen. Will rushes after him. Ben grabs the pot and dumps the contents at his feet. Will falls. Ben runs on. Will continues the chase. Now Ben is throwing boxes at him. They knock Will down. Someone opens the door. This is Jamie. He grabs Ben and throws him onto the asphalt. Will waited for him to appear. If the manager walks, the actor will naturally follow him. Ben was arrested. Jamie didn't waste his money on judo lessons. He was so resistant back then. He'd been watching action movies for years. It's good that he learned it. It came in handy. Will asks what he will do now. Jamie says movies. A car drives past with Kelly sitting in it. The prosecutor's office announced that a certain citizen, Sung-min, is accused of violating the Control of Prohibited Substances Act, and he currently claims that he acted alone. As expected, the tail was cut off. It will take time to prove the connection with FNF. Kelly's voice is heard. Alan turns off the TV. Kelly places a newspaper on the table, which contains an article titled Wine with Illegal Substances in Cheongdam-dong, a black hand targeting the entertainment industry. Kelly demands an explanation. Yesterday, Alan received an urgent tip. Kelly's wine glass was found to contain an illegal drug at the party. FNF is behind this. They were hunting her. If she had drunk the wine, her innocence would have been proven, of course, but after a long interrogation, her acting image would have suffered. The mere thought of it is terrifying. Alan will see the FNF case through to the end. He has handed over all the materials he has collected to the prosecutor's office, so the truth will be revealed. If it weren't for that, Kelly's picture would be on the front page. Alan apologizes. He didn't mean to drag her into this. He had nothing to apologize for. Kelly didn't expect FNF to give in so easily. She asks who gave Alan the tip. The man who saved her was, of course, Jamie. He arranged a meeting between producer Liam Kieran and director Ted Manhun. John Lane is also present at the meeting. The liquidation scenario is simply magnificent. Ted Manhun is glad to hear this, but he doesn't understand what kind of meeting this is. This is a preliminary meeting on the assassination. But the investment was ruined. However, if John is involved, the investment can be resumed. Of course, if it's John Lane, then even if the project was cancelled, they'll film everything from scratch. Then the director probably agrees too. John Lane's involvement is unexpected, but the budget is no small thing. No one invests in unknown directors like Ted Manhun. John's fee alone won't be worth much, and then there's the matter of casting actors of his caliber and the equipment needed for the action scenes. Ted doesn't need to worry about it. It's Jamie and Liam's responsibility. The producer asks how Jamie is going to answer for this. He will be both a producer and an investor. Liam asks where he gets the money to invest and how much he will invest. Minimum 10% of the budget, 1 billion won. Don't joke like that. Even large banks and medium-sized companies invest $500 million. This is not a joke. They just don't know. This guy is called the God of Stocks. Liam has been feeling so weak lately, he keeps hearing voices, so he decided to ask. Even last night, his great-grandfather appeared to him. So first, we need to arrange financing with John Lane in the lead role. Liam objects. First, they need to approve the lead actress. Once they sort out the financing, they will assign the staff and draw up a detailed schedule. The actress has a significant role in this film. One problem after another. Annie Hyun-ju has a drama filming coming up soon, and if Kim Hansen is involved, John will have to carry the entire film alone. Linda Cherry would be suitable, but it is unclear whether they have enough budget for her fee. We'll have to get the casting department involved and hold a separate meeting. Someone enters the office. Kelly will take on this role. John asks why she came here. She wants to star in The Killing. Jamie is against. If the box office receipts are unknown, then, of course, her candidacy can be considered, but 9 million viewers are already guaranteed. Too expensive, the main character doesn't have much screen time. Kelly agrees to a minor role. A clause could be included in the contract prohibiting changes in the role's significance. She is very perceptive. Kelly asks Jamie if there are any problems. These people grab onto everything without thinking. Kelly asked if there were any problems. John wants to go home. Thus, the film The Killing began to develop rapidly. John received 700 million won and 101 per viewer. Kelly received 100 million and 51 per viewer. Jamie isn't sure she's really okay with it. It seems like he's the only one who worries about it. Movie Truck allocated a budget of 6 billion plus 2 billion for marketing. Ted Manhun completed editing the script. John remained involved in the production process to fill his responsibility as a leading actor. He reluctantly agreed because if the main actor was sloppy, the whole film could fall apart. Meanwhile, a voice on the phone informed Jamie about the release of a new MMORPG called 13 Warriors. He was told that she would blow up the foreign market. They rented a small office next to the basement apartment. For the first time again. When Jamie first started playing, when he came out of his closet, when they started this business, it was all for the first time when Will was with him. Enough chatter, the noodles will get soggy. It's a success. A lot of people want to invest in the film. One of the 3 largest investment and distribution companies in the country, MV, has contacted us. After all, they only invest in blockbusters and films by cult directors. Now we can aim for 15 million. Liam and Jamie arrive at a meeting with MV representatives. Jamie wonders what Hong Kyung-man is doing here. This is an elderly actor who is in self-isolation after drunk driving, which resulted in an accident. The plot is great, the actors are amazing. They'll first grab attention with John Lane and Kelly Jinju, and then they'll push Jamie Khan's story in the finale, and the audience will go crazy. Liam doubts the public will accept it. There is nothing better than the effect of a scandal. These creatures use assassination and want to palm off Hong Kyung-man as a bonus. They will discuss complex issues later. First, they need to sort out the investments. MV representatives began asking about the production plan, the future course of the project, and the casting. There was only one pre-prepared answer to everything. Nothing had been decided for sure yet. If investors understand the inner workings of a film too well, they start to think they are part of the production too. They had to be kept in check, which was why Jamie had asked Liam to be evasive. But something is bothering him. They still haven't said a word to him. It's time to move on to action. As they already said, they have some interest. They are planning to fully cover the entire investment budget, 7 billion. They are putting pressure on me hard, ready to spend such a sum just for Hong Kyung-man. Liam will consider this proposal. They don't ask you to think about it. They suggest you go along with MV. These bastards are blackmailing them to foist the actor on them and swallow up the entire project. Initially, the next film discussed was Kim Sung-bong, winner of last year's Montpellier Film Festival, but after seeing the killing, everything turned upside down. This is nonsense. They tried to push Hong Kyung-man in, but were refused. Compared to the scandal surrounding Jamie, Han's escape from the scene of the accident is a drop in the ocean. They want to put Jamie at risk. If Liam doesn't work with them, they'll have to go back to Kim Sang-bong. But if the great Kim Sang-bong stands next to the unknown director of the assassination, it will create tension. Ted Myung-hoon was Kim Sang-bong's assistant for 7 years. They thought it was fate. This snake probably already has headlines about the confrontation between teacher and student prepared. If they refuse MV's offer, they will be ground into dust. Jamie has a question. He wonders what Hong Kyung-man is doing here. He became interested in the project, and it also happened to be lunchtime. So he was just hungry. Apparently, he wants to clear his reputation. Drunk driving and hit and run, the crash victim is dead, and they decided to cover it all up with one movie. Hong thought that a person like Jamie would understand him. After all, he had been in a similar situation. He can't compare to Hong, there were just rumors about him, but what Hong was involved in was true. Jamie is going too far. That's enough for today. Jamie has a very hot temper, they will meet often, so it is better to smooth things over. Let Liam think carefully and give an answer. MV representatives leave. They were the first to start threatening. 7 billion and an MV rental network, this may be the only chance to cooperate with such a large company. It's common practice to promote actors in this business, and nothing will happen if they help clear Hong Kyung-man's name. Jamie asks why MV is pushing him so hard. Their vice president is Han's brother, he put everything on the line. If they go against Han, it will be a war with MV. Jamie gets a call from that same number. The entertainment industry's harassment scandal is reignited by a young actress's statement. She claimed that during her trainee years, she was harassed by veteran actor Hong Kyung-man. MV VIP Pictures is a competitor. I need to send them a proposal as well. 10% of the budget will be fine. They have 7 billion in front of their noses, and Jamie is talking about a mere 10%. A scandal involving Hong Kyung-man will soon surface. This bastard not only drove drunk, but also harassed female students. For 3 years, he systematically abused the victim. If they take him into the film, and then everything comes out, they will be smeared. Jamie has been in the industry for 13 years. His sources are right. It is necessary to take only unknown actors for minor and episodic roles. But they don't have any money, and Jamie suggests kicking MV. They need at least 3 billion to start. Even for Jamie, that's a huge amount of money. But the new game from Endgame is now a huge success. Endgame shares have quadrupled. Jamie's assets now stand at 4 billion. He will be the main investor. We have to try. They are going into open war with the freaks from MV. The casting list includes too many older actors, some of whom may be involved in the scandal. And this scandal will have to be taken on by Ted Manhun, who is making his debut in commercial cinema, the studio movie truck, which is trying to revive itself, John Lane and Kelly Jinj, who took a risk. If the harassment scandal gets out, there will be carnage in the industry. They will sweep away the stagnant rot in the film industry with the help of newcomers in a refreshing film. Jamie gets a call from an unknown number. This is Hong Kyung-man. He has some bad news. They say Movie Truck has rejected MV's offer. It's hard to believe that this small company would refuse 7 billion. Maybe Con should find a tutor. Jamie is no stranger to tactlessness. He must understand that this industry is very close-knit. Hong has been involved with the Film Academy for a long time. The film industry is in the hands of his students. It's not the same industry Jamie knew 5 years ago. Hon will crush it slowly and thoroughly. Jamie is looking forward to it. He comes to Kim Sang-bong. Jamie looks better than he thought. It must have been tough for him. He heard that Kim was discussing the film with MV, and it is said that Ted Mayung-hoon's assassination is coming out around the same time. Kim has already refused this offer, but MV will offer more favorable conditions. More importantly, there are some nasty rumors circulating about Hong Kyung-man, and a scandal may soon break out. They say it was Jamie who pulled out Ted Man-hun. I wonder what it was about him that made him decide to support him. Jamie saw his script, and it was so good that he wanted to film it right away. He also watched Ted make his independent film, and the atmosphere was truly captivating. Jamie wanted his talent to be seen by a larger audience. Kim is grateful that he recognized Ted's talent. People think that the most important thing in a director is a beautiful picture, but in the end, it all comes down to who you work with on set. Kim wants everyone on his site to work with pride and dedication. But if there is someone who is difficult to respect as a colleague, Kim will not allow him to ruin everyone's life. Jamie appreciates your understanding. He is about to leave. Kim asks if he plans to return to acting. Jamie has no intention of coming back. Don't tell John and Kelly about the MV thing. Let them focus on acting. The script needs to be shortened and given to everyone, even those playing bit parts, so that everyone can feel proud of their role. A large-scale casting tour has begun. They needed new faces, so they went to small theaters. They were looking for people who could confidently perform in front of cameras and film crews. As expected, the theater world is full of talent, and within a few days they invited 20 actors to audition. Everything went smoothly thanks to Liam. The game 13 Warriors has found itself at the center of a scandal due to suspicions of privileges being granted in one of the regions. A boycott began among players, and endgame shares fell to their lowest levels. Jamie invested his entire fortune into this company. Yesterday, he sold shares, net worth 4 billion. That same number again. I wish this was insider information. Around 5 in the morning, young actress Carol Han was found dead. After reporting Hong Kyung-man's harassment, Carol faced constant online insults and phone threats. Her mental and physical condition was so undermined that she could not lead a normal life. This means they simply hushed up the statement of an unknown actress and drove her to suicide. As long as Hong remains in the industry, there will be new victims, and this leech will one day get to Jamie too. With the start of the business, a mountain of work appeared. The biggest problem is Hong Kyung-man. If Jamie can't protect Carol Han, everything will fall apart. He doesn't even know when she will make the announcement. She is a member of FNF. Someone enters the office of Voice Entertainment, Jamie and Will's company. Will didn't order anything. This is Kelly. She came straight from training. She asks what's wrong with Carol. The topic of sexual harassment is a sensitive issue, especially when it comes to obtaining the victim's cooperation. Kelly is also a woman, and she was also in FNF. Carol, like a flower emerging from the asphalt, dreamed of becoming an actress since childhood. She worked part-time, attended a drama club, and prepared to enter the academy. Shortly before her debut, she lost her mother, but never showed it. She was just starting to make a career. Hong needs to be banned from the film industry. He must be destroyed in such a way that he won't even dare raise his head on the street. The main thing is Carol's desire. It just so happens that Jamie gets only these kinds of tips. This also adds to his headache. It is not easy for the actress to decide on such a statement. According to the available information, Hon's exposure is inevitable, but Carol will be found dead. The main thing is to prevent her suicide. It's okay. This person wants to help. Carol looks bad. In the photographs, she seemed so cheerful and healthy. Jamie shows her his business card. It reminds Carol of Hon. Jamie wanted to help quietly, so he invited her into the office. All the same, Carol saw the news. Jamie was making fun of the newcomers. She doesn't trust anyone. It seems she tried to talk to the FNF leadership. Her contract was terminated a month ago, and her profile simply wasn't updated. FNF knew about the harassment, but kept silent about it. This scandal will be hushed up, and Carol will be portrayed as a dissolute woman. There will be outright persecution and manipulation of public opinion, the same as happened with Jamie 5 years ago. If everything is left as is, Carol's death is inevitable. Apparently, she means that article from 5 years ago, but these are newspapers, and they write lies. Yes, it's about Jamie. In this world, if you are noticed by someone like Hong Kyung-man, anyone can be made into such a person. Of course, Jamie is hard to trust, so you can trust fate. If the coin lands on heads, Carol will let him ask one question. If the coin lands on tails, Jamie will reveal one unknown fact about his past. And he won't bother Carol anymore. Just once, and then they will never see each other again. Jamie flips a coin. He will be able to open this child's heart. Heads came up. Jamie flips the coin. He was unlucky today. He takes out his phone. He lived in this apartment for 5 years. Until recently, he thought about death. All charges against him were dropped, but people still remembered him as a scoundrel. Jamie thought he had no one to trust and nothing could be done. Every day was like being in prison. But when he came out, there were people who had been waiting for him for 5 years. The world had not changed. The scum who had overthrown it were still looking for new victims. He thought that if he just suffered, everything would be resolved, but nothing changed. So he started doing something, destroying Hong Kyung-man being one of those things. This has nothing to do with Carol. Yes, it was the same with Jamie. A man like Hong Kyung-man will do anything to destroy his opponent. Then Carol will find herself isolated, like Jamie, and may face a desperate choice. He helps her so that she doesn't end up in his situation, because it's too hard to endure alone. It's not just about Carol. Bastards like these must disappear so there are no more victims. Carol asks what question Jamie was going to ask if he came up heads. The ice has broken. It started 3 years ago when Carol entered the academy. Hong Kyung-man touched her under the pretext of teaching her and sought personal meetings. Even after she left the academy, he continued to pester her with calls and messages. He said that she couldn't make it in this field without people like him and that he was helping her because she was special. An acting career begins with a rejection of principles. According to the information, Hong Kyung-man is not the only one. Helpless newbies can't even scream when they are trampled. Jamie will destroy Hong Kyung-man. Carol might want to return to acting. Jamie himself said that Hon would do everything to destroy the enemy. He couldn't help Carol alone. Carol gets up. She's leaving. Kelly runs after her. So many people are suffering because of this devil Hong Kyung-man. I need to at least eat. They haven't eaten anything since morning. They will see each other later. Carol is right. The future cannot be changed alone. To catch a devil, you must make an alliance with another devil. The same one who sent Jamie to hell. This is Deathpatch reporter Park Do-hoon. He is sitting at the bar. I can't believe this trash is in front of Jamie again. Why? This is people's artist Jamie Khan. The same irritating tone again. Jamie appears 5 years later and talks about Hong Kyung-man. Because Park Do-hoon is #1 at sending people to the abyss. He drowned Jamie too. The agency's then president abused his power, sparking a scandal over a dual contract for domestic and international events. But it was Park who used this to open the gates of hell. He will sell his soul for money and hype. If he gets his hands on you, he will drive you to the very edge of the abyss. In the industry, he's known as the devil's reporter. Not only he wrote, but then everyone rewrote his articles. He must write something so disgusting that Hong Kyung-man cannot live a normal life. The journalist is not a butcher. Now Park saves people. Rotten tumors that drink the blood of children need to be cut out, and he is the one who will do it. But he counts quickly. It's not just Hong Kyung-man. Once they create a wave, it will start to spread everywhere. Films with problematic actors will fall apart, a bloody wind will rise, and Park's exposé will become a cult classic. He will save the children and collect views, and at the same time, clear his image as a fighter for justice. When everything is ready, Jamie will contact him. They will cut out Hong Kyung-man. He's leaving. Park thought he was still a child, but he came back with the eyes of a wolf. So, if the Hong Kyung-man scandal comes to light, they will try to cover it up or divert attention, and then they will have to release follow-up articles to prevent the matter from being covered up. Kelly is a Big C member, but she's clearly acting as Jamie's spokesperson now. This can even shake FNF. FNF covered up the rapist and kicked out Carol. If the scandal with Hong Kyung-man grows, FNF will also suffer. When public opinion explodes, the prosecutor's office will speed up the investigation, especially in the case of the banned substance wine. It was probably Jamie's idea too. What a nasty guy he was. He lured Kelly in. It's her idea. To sum it up, Alan must pay back the debt for the banned substance wine. He certainly won't leave a bastard like Hong Kyung-man alone. Kelly has to go. She has a meeting. If she's going to voice again, she'd better pack her things and work there. Carol's sister, Lynn, tries to wake her up. Lynn needs to get a part-time job. She thinks Carol is sick and suggests going to the hospital. Lynn received her paycheck for her part-time job yesterday. She has money. It's okay. Carol's just tired. If anything happens, be sure to write, Lynn cooked dinner. And Carol also received a letter. She stood up. I need to eat and collect my thoughts. Acting is not the only way to survive. It's time to start looking for a job. Lynn also needs to go to university. Jamie asked if Carol would like to return to acting. I can't believe it's really going to end like this. FNF sent a notice of termination of the contract with a demand for compensation for damages. This is 3-in-1 coffee. Apparently, this is the kind of service for a VIP actress. Let her try to open a company herself. It's all about money. Jamie asks what's wrong with Carol. Kelly tries to calm her down, but she still avoids talking about Jamie. This is not surprising. In her place, he would not have been able to trust either. They are checking to see if there are any more victims among the Academy's graduates. As expected, it is difficult for outsiders to gain access. Kelly will also try to find out through familiar actors. It is necessary to collect all possible information. Carol is sitting on the playground. Kelly writes to her she wants to help and assures her that Jamie sincerely wants this too. Carol doesn't answer and puts the phone in her pocket. Then she hears a child's cry. The girl calls for her mother. She's somewhere nearby. A man approaches the girl. Carol thinks he wants to harm the girl. She rushes to help. However, in reality, this man wants to help. He will find the girl's mother. The man tells us to check the supermarket. Then the girl's mother appears. She is grateful that they helped her find her child. Perhaps Jamie was sincere too. But Carol is still not sure if she can trust him. VIP Pictures is interested. They like the cast of The Killing, and they find it interesting that all the supporting roles are played by unknown actors. They smell money. MV was also aiming for this project, but in any case, it's good. Liam will set up a meeting, and don't forget about the casting schedule. The distribution problem is also solved. If you remove MV and Hong Kyung-man, there will be no problems. Someone is knocking at the door. This is Carol. She saw the article. All charges were dropped. She came to apologize. No need. Jamie is used to such reactions. Carol asks why he didn't do anything 5 years ago. Her mother was a fan of his. Even after the scandal, she continued to believe in him, saying that Jamie couldn't do such a thing, that he was a good person. Watching movies and TV series with him was her little joy until her death. If he had spoken out earlier, it would have been easier for Mom. Jamie is grateful that Carol believed in his sincerity. It was she who was wrong when she believed the articles and doubted him. When he said he wanted to help, he was sincere. He wants to help Carol because he sees his past in her. She should return to acting. She needs help. She doesn't want to give up on her dream. She held back for a long time, but finally gave free rein to her feelings. Carol's tears were not only her own pain, but also a reflection of Jamie's pain. Her scream continued to ring in her ears for a long time. Park Do-hoon prepares to film an interview. Jamie appears. He asks to take care of Carol. At this point, his intervention is over. Park will work in his own way. He asks that the interview participant be brought back safe and sound. Carol is sitting in the car. Jamie asks if she's ready. Carol is ready. The maestro of the film industry himself took care of the contract meeting, which is a great honor. It's been a while since Kim Sang-bong's last film. At that time, only Hong Kyung-man was given leading roles, and thanks to his support, Kim's first film was a success. The head of the Ullum Film Studio is also counting on Hong's outstanding performance in this film. We can proceed to signing the contract. Hong then said that one must maintain pride in order to play well. If you pour anything into an empty bowl, even gorier pottery will turn into a chamber pot. Hong said it's the same with actors. Kim asks if he allows the younger actors to keep their pride. Due to his recent actions and rumors in the industry, Kim decided it was too risky to include him in his film. He only wants to remember Hong as a mentor he respected. They can't make that contract. Kim is leaving. It will start anonymously, but it can become dangerous. Carol made a decision that there should be no more victims like her. Jamie asks her to stand next to him. If you stand next to a noisy person like him, all attention will be on him. When everyone is watching, no one will dare touch Carol. This is definitely Jamie's work. No one else could have approached such a famous director as Sanborn. This bastard needs to be shown his place, and all the worthwhile actors need to be removed from murder. All the actors there are new. Even if they were removed, it would hardly affect the project in any way. John Lane and Kelly Jinju are untouchable. No one dares touch them. We need to find at least something that could become their weak point. The director of the MV film department looks at his phone. Hong Kyung-man's name is at the top of the search results. The topic of the day, veteran actor Hong Kyung-man harassed trainee A for 3 years, and FNF agency tried to hush up the matter. The comments are already boiling. This is just the beginning. Hon said not to break so abruptly. Lately, nothing goes right at all. This article was written by Park Do-hoon, the same one who hunted Jamie. This shit is really starting to get out of hand. Hong meets with Park. He can't help but write if he receives such material. First, you need to have a drink. Park accepted Hong's greeting, so now he has to reply. Hong asks how much his greeting costs. It depends on how big it is. An obscenely large sum, Hong will separately allocate an official sponsorship contribution to the company. Jamie Khan is directing the film, which stars John Lane and Kelly Jinju. Jamie completely failed 5 years ago, and now he somehow got the money for a film. Will brought coffee. Jamie always brought only instant coffee, but when Carol arrived, he already brought snacks. Carol worked hard. We need to see how much this old stump has fallen apart. Here Will discovers that the article has been deleted. Jamie calls Park. He doesn't answer. Will knew this scoundrel couldn't be trusted. Kelly will check out Big C's next report. Will go to Deathpatch and beg the editor. The situation is damn complicated. On the one hand, the shameful collapse of a respected veteran actor on the other, a crazy scam involving a failed actor and a nameless newcomer. Hong worked hard to make an actress out of a talentless person, and she betrayed him. He knows that the intern A is Carol Han. Pak can sell anything, but not his sauce. Jamie Kang's key figure, Hong, was offered a role in his film, but the script was complete crap. Pak destroyed it 5 years ago. He wouldn't have given him a real exclusive. A failed actor and a talentless newcomer want to detonate a bomb and make money from it. Pak and Hong will blow up first. The stakes need to be raised. There will be a spectacular scandal in any case. Liam bursts into Jamie's office. Due to an emergency, VIP Pictures has postponed the contract indefinitely. It's better to talk outside. Jamie did say that Hong Kyung-man was gotten rid of. They will die. He will not leave them alone. Will was in the death patch. There were reports that Jamie had conspired with an intern to get rid of Hong Kyung-man. They are even checking the source of funding for the murder. They say there is something fishy about it. Hong Kyung-man's side is preparing for a press conference. Carol heard everything. If this continues, they will all be finished. Jamie will finish it all. He must come out to the press himself. This is the only way he can protect Carol and murder. Let the dirt fly only at him. He will bury Hong Kyung-man with his own hands. Kelly notices Carol as she passes by. She runs away from her. Jamie realizes she heard everything. Carol ran in that direction. Jamie runs after her. She disappeared from sight. Needing to find her, Jamie asks Kelly to call her. He calls too, but Carol doesn't answer. Kelly calls. More articles will be out tomorrow morning, and it looks like Alan Weiss's proposal has finally been answered. Kelly is also trying to find out what's wrong with Carol, but she has almost no acquaintances with whom she is kept in touch. Jamie has a nosebleed. Something needs to be done urgently. Articles from Big C are already coming out, but Hong Kyung-man's side is pushing them aside. It looks like they even hired commentators. Before interviewing Deathpatch, they met with other victims. With Carol's help, the trainees' certificates were obtained. This is the collected evidence. Jamie will hold the press conference in person. Will saw the news. They are no match for them in resources. They need someone who will intensify the scandal. It's too dangerous. Many still believe in that story from 5 years ago. That's why Jamie is coming out. It's a chance to get rid of the past once and for all. It's a bad time, one mistake, and he will never recover. Yes, timing is important. We need to destroy them with facts before Hong Kyung-man has time to prepare. Jamie asks Will to organize a press conference for him. We need to find Carol. He knocks on the door of her house. The old woman asks why he is making noise in broad daylight. She recently saw a girl from this house. MV has reached an agreement with loyal media outlets to hold an emergency press conference without an announcement. They chose the most offensive comments and framed the situation in a way that emphasized the victim image. They also edited a video of Carol Han, collecting only her bad moments, making her look like a desperate mediocrity who is trying to get attention. Pak guarantees that there will be fun. There is a camera hidden in its handle. She is filming Han. Carol is standing on the roof of a high-rise building. She wants to jump, but something stops her. She calls Kelly. Grandma said for sure that it was here. Jamie enters the store. He asks if Carol Han works here. Lynn thinks he is the same person who is bothering her sister. She asks why he is looking for her. Carol has stopped communicating and he is worried. She didn't come home yesterday. They must be sleeping together. It's not like that at all. Jamie is really worried. There seems to be a misunderstanding. He asks to tell Carol that he is looking for her if she contacts her sister. She is not one to make others worry. She is always responsible for herself. You can't underestimate her. Jamie calls Pak. He licks Hong Kyung-man like a dog. Pak wants to give Jamie valuable information. Tomorrow, Hong Kyung-man will hold a press conference about how the actor, who has fallen out of favor, colluded with a trainee to stage a scam. There is no point in talking about it now. Pak said that he works in his own way. The next day, Jamie comes to the press room. They are completely crazy, announcing a press conference an hour before it starts. Since Jamie was back in the film industry, it was bound to come up sooner or later. And it will happen today. After 5 years of oblivion, Jamie Khan is back on stage. He's just a master at finding his own grave. He, a worthless loser, decided to compete with Hong Kyung-man. Carol enters. She approaches the microphone. She is the same trainee A who accused Hong Kyung-man of harassment. Her name is Carol Han. She was subjected to harassment for 3 years, with Hong Kyung-man blackmailing her and other trainees using her debut and casting as bait. When Carol told the agency about this, their response was to terminate the contract. But there was a man who helped her, sacrificing himself. Thanks to this man, Carol found the courage to stand here. Carol Han, who has always been in hiding, is now going against her destiny. That's why Hong is holding this press conference. It's all a lie. They accuse him without evidence. Then, something appears on the screen. This is evidence. Messages written by Han. She can't allow others to suffer because of her. She must protect Jamie. The door to the studio is closed. Will hasn't shown everything yet. Kelly enters the conference room. Carol did a hard job. This is the correspondence between Hong Kyung-man and the Academy's trainees. In addition to the correspondence, there are also testimonies, recordings, and detailed interviews. Liam is confused as to why this data appeared in Big C. When it comes to helping younger people, it doesn't matter who works where. All this is a lie, slander of these lousy people. They use fabricated evidence to frame Hong. He is the victim. This is blatant slander, and a witch hunt must not be allowed. Here, Hong's voice is heard, recorded on the camera in Park's pen. They simply took the inept acting out of context. She doesn't know how to act, but she strives for fame like a pathetic populist. Peck guaranteed it would be fun. All you have to do is burst into tears in front of journalists, and public opinion will change. If anyone needs the materials, they can contact Pak. And by the way, he just republished the article that was put on hold for further investigation. They grab Kona. He was arrested on charges of harassment, stalking, and blackmail. He is a victim. They are wrong. Jamie doesn't understand what's happening. He's not the main star anymore. Don't act like he's the only cool one here. It turns out Will knew everything and didn't even say that the police were involved. This is the head of the legal department of Big C. The leading actress cannot interfere so recklessly. Jamie's not going to make Muro one. Carol hated him, even despised him. She believed the lies the press spewed, rejected the truth, and even equated Jamie with Hong Kyung-man. But he tried to protect Carol until the very end. He raised the coward to her feet. Jamie is acting like a fool. Helping an intern like her would only put him in harm's way. Both the film and his image were at risk. Carol is right. If it's only losses, there's no point in helping. When Jamie was preparing materials, he watched all of her acting work, and now he is auditioning her. But finding a talented actor is part of a producer's job. Carol thanks Jamie for his help. The phone scammers predicted her death, and he wanted to change that future. But in the end, Carol saved herself. Everywhere, there is only news about Hong Kyung-man. Jamie, of course, told Carol to stay close to him and look only at him. The newspapers wrote about Kelly sacrificing herself for the sake of the interns. She definitely deserved that kind of pay. There are terrible traffic jams today. They are very sorry. They will be there soon. There is no need to come. The snowball launched by Hong Kyung-man has engulfed the entire industry, with scandals involving famous actors erupting one after another. Films that had already been shot required editing revisions, and at the script stage, investments were simply cancelled. Against this backdrop, VIP Pictures rushed to conclude deals. The total investment is $1.5 billion, with an additional marketing budget of $2 billion. They were surprised that Jamie took on both producing and major investment. The plot of The Killing is excellent, and they really like the cast. It is especially fortunate that the supporting roles are played by unknown actors. This is in line with their philosophy of discovering new stars. That's why VIP Pictures wants to exclude Jamie from the marketing campaign entirely. The film itself is already strong enough, and they don't need dirty PR. They came to Hong Kyung-man. This is Park. He was worried about his health. If Hon gets out, he'll kill him first, not Jamie. This means that Hon can't count. The balance is not in his favor. There's no point in finishing off someone who's already in complete shit. Park made sure that Hong was alive and left. There was another reason. He became curious about how Jamie's future would turn out. And he will definitely see it with his own eyes. Almost all the auditions are over, but the role of Sandy is a problem. This character is fragile, refined, incredibly attractive, but there is no suitable actress. Kelly enters. She came to the audition, but they won't listen to her. This is Lynn, Carol's sister. Pre-production seemed to be going smoothly, but there was no actress for the key supporting role of Sandy. The main character's younger sister is a character on whom the success of the film depends. You can't just take anyone. Jamie is puzzled as to how Lynn got here. This is a gift from Carol. This is not a gift, but a bomb, and Lynn is not even an actress. We need to give her a chance and then judge. Jamie would rather watch more plays. Lynn can start whenever she's ready. He doesn't dare tell her whether to wait or not. If she leaves, she won't come back. She was already immersed in the role. You can't drive someone into such despair without saying a word. The despair she feels will eventually consume him too. Her emotions changed instantly. Lynn's performance was pure, unprocessed. Her unclouded emotions were seething and captivating. She's 20. Her sister told her to dress in the character's style, so she took what she had at home. She has charisma. Jamie asks if she has played before. When her sister rehearsed, she sometimes helped her. This won't work. We need to check it again. More accurate cross-checking, the role of Sandy's brother, and a guarantee of box office success. You can't drive a busy person back and forth. He's not a yard dog that you constantly harass. John has so much energy and enthusiasm. All the theatre actors Jamie invited were selected. No wonder he is a former top star. They did say there was no suitable actress for the role of Sandy. The thing is, Lynn doesn't have a base. Her performance is unpredictable and unique, similar to the first time John saw Jamie play. So he agrees. John didn't say Lynn passed. She is accepted. Kelly did say she could do it. Jamie suggests they all have dinner together, but Lynn has a part-time job. Then Kelly will take her. Lynn is weird. John completely forgot. He has a meeting. Jamie gets a call from that same number. The information seems unrelated, but it intertwines like a web and draws him deeper and deeper. If he keeps moving forward, he will find out what awaits him at the end. Actress Mandy Stone, who played the grandmother in the independent film My Mother, Paula Stone, donated all proceeds from the film to help starving children. The film became the first independent documentary to reach 3 million viewers. The murder will gross 9 million, and now there's an independent documentary too. With a portfolio like that, you can raise a real storm. Perhaps from the moment Jamie returned to the hell of the film industry, his endpoint was already sealed. He is returning to big cinema. It is absolutely impossible to invest in an independent film that no one needs. A low-budget film that attracted 3 million viewers, the people who will see this crazy success are here. They couldn't even imagine that Jamie Khan himself would come. He wants to invest in their film, My Mother by Paula Stone. Actually, this movie is a flop. Information from The Voice is always correct. There were problems with the actor who was supposed to be filming. After the incident, everyone simply stopped contacting him. It was Hong Kyung-man. The main character, Mandy Stone's grandmother, starred in the documentary Human Theatre. I wanted to show my grandmother's life, but it turned out, like this, she was so happy that she would meet people again. It's good that the time bomb was eliminated in advance. Hong Kyung-man could have caused more violence at any moment. Jamie will fully finance this film and cover all subsequent expenses. He's already sunk $3.5 billion into the killing, and now he's getting into a documentary that's just burning money. He found the answer. Will wants to know where he gets all that money from. He knows his situation. Of course, he took money from loan sharks. Jamie actually spent 5 years studying investments. So, he learned about investing, but when he got into independent film, it wasn't an investment, but charity. They just heard the reason to invest in this film, and that reason is Hong Kyung-man. He has a shitty personality, but he has a keen eye, and he considered this film as much of a sure bet as Kim Sang-bong. We'll read the synopsis. The plot is normal. This film will definitely attract at least 3 million viewers. If both The Killing and this movie work together, they will be taken to a new level. But the filming period overlaps with The Killing, and their company can't handle both projects. The real reason this movie needs to be made is revenge. It is for this reason that Jamie must return to the film industry, but this story cannot be voiced yet. He will take away from Hong Kyung-man the very film that he longed for with all his heart. Someone had to replace him. Even finding one actress was incredibly difficult. Nobody said they didn't have actors. Someone opens the door. Here she is, the actress who will take revenge on Hong Kyung-man. Carol thought Jamie was just trying to cheer her up. This film is about finding the meaning of family with her grandmother, and for Carol, this will also be healing. We need to show people the real actress Carol Han, not the victim. She will try. Someone is walking along the underground passage. This is a schoolboy. Another person appears behind him. He has a hammer in his hand. He attacks a schoolboy. This man hit him on the head. Jamie wakes up. It was not a dream. This is a prediction received a week ago. Someone is going to die tonight. A series of brutal attacks has rocked Yongin, with the fourth victim again a schoolboy. This Friday after school at 8 o'clock in the evening, on his way home, student Tom Jones will be injured while walking under a bridge near the named station. Idiotic heroism must also know its limits. The predictions are directly related to Jamie's fate. If he ignores this information, there is no guarantee that the future will not go awry. From the very beginning, he had no choice. But they are pinning on him something that even the police can't figure out. Professionals should deal with this. Someone is heading towards Jamie's car. He came. This man was a tough detective in the Major Crimes Unit. However, it is strange that he became an ordinary detective. Besides, he looks like a mafioso. One school child needs to be protected. This place really is the perfect place to put pressure on someone. It looks like school bullying is going on again. This is a serial murder case. Jamie must be referring to that maniac from the news. There is information that he will appear here this evening, around 9. So Jamie knows the crime scene in a case where even the police have no leads. That's why they didn't report it to the police. Either Jamie is very serious or he's crazy. He would also like to hear wrongly. But if another victim suddenly appears here, it's unlikely that Hank Soo will be able to turn a blind eye to it. A schoolboy appears. Hank stops Jamie, who wants to get out of the car. We need to send the child to the main road. If they go out, the maniac will turn off. That's the problem. He'll only leave when he's finished hunting. To avoid new victims, we need to pin him down right here and catch him at the scene of the crime. Drunk guys show up. An attack on the spot is perhaps too dangerous. Actor Jamie Khan may not participate. Hank never asks about a client's identity, but that face is impossible to forget. 5 years ago, he handled Jamie's drug-related case, so he recognized him by his eyebrows. The only blind spot the cameras have under the bridge is the area Hank will be able to fully control. However, a crime cannot be predicted. Perhaps everything will pass without incident. This is the same schoolboy that Jamie saw in his dream. A hooded man appears. As soon as Hank runs, Jamie should call the police. The most convenient victims are those who are drunk or too engrossed in something to notice someone's presence. The man took out a hammer. Hank rushes into the passage. Jamie calls the police. The maniac is about to hit the schoolboy, but Hank knocks him to the ground. The maniac tries to reach the hammer. Jamie comes to the rescue. If the schoolboy's name is Tom Jones, it's all over. Jamie tries to shout to the schoolboy. Someone else appears ahead. This man has a knife in his hand. He walks towards the schoolboy. Jamie starts running. The man holds a knife at the ready. Jamie pushes a schoolboy and gets stabbed. The schoolboy is puzzled as to why he pushed him. The intruder stands behind Jamie. Hank appears. The attacker runs away. It's okay. We need to catch this bastard. Jamie asks the schoolboy if he is Tom Jones. This is him. From the very beginning, as soon as Liam met Hank, it was already creepy. Over there is Jamie's room. The guards won't let them in. Jamie thought the voice was a chance. For 5 years he rotted in a semi-basement hell and believed that this was the hope that would pull him out of there. But with every opportunity comes danger. The deeper Jamie got back into the film industry, the more this danger squeezed his throat. The voice said that Chen Songbin would die in a car accident, but Jamie's death would be far more pitiful. Maybe this is not a chance, but a deadly game. Kelly doesn't understand why she can't enter the room. They say the situation is dire, so they won't let us in. Everything is going to hell again. Jamie woke up. He is in the VIP ward of the Agen Hospital. The wound was deep, but fortunately, vital organs were not affected. Jamie asks what's wrong with Tom Jones. Thanks to Jamie, he's safe. This is Attorney Sam Surim from the Strategic Planning Department of Agan Electronics. This is the same Agan Group, the country's #1 corporation. So he woke up. Jamie Khan is bothering him. We need to comb through his background. If it gets in the way, let it be removed. Hank is retired, and it's time for him to stop getting involved in things like this. He asks if they managed to find the escaped accomplice. No matter how much you look, it looks like an isolated crime. They checked everything, but the only thing on the camera footage was the guy with the hammer. Hank saw everything with his own eyes. They are exhausted and have not been able to get home for 2 days now. Hank saw exactly who hit Jamie. Kelly is crying. Jamie asks who invited her. Will had completely forgotten that they had a meeting about murder. Press conference, workshop, a lot of work. Now is definitely not the time to hang around here. Jamie is seriously injured, so Kelly needs to be more gentle. She asks what happened. Jamie was riding his bike when he fell and hit a rock. He doesn't ride a bike. Jamie says he only learned recently, so he was clumsy. Kelly has watched a ton of medical dramas. She can recognize a stab wound. It seems Jamie doesn't want to take responsibility. Kelly gets up. 5 years ago, he did the same thing, left her alone. A producer can't be that irresponsible. He must be responsible for Carol and Lynn. Kelly was going to take them to Big Z. Jamie didn't officially hand them over to them, and in general, he arranged the entire site, and the children should be raised by others. He must take responsibility and not make people unhappy anymore. In 5 minutes, Jamie will be transferred to the examination room. Murder is Kelly's film, not just his. So no dangerous stuff until filming is over. Kelly, after all, acts in dramas and knows that if there's a positive moment, it's almost always a sign that things are about to go wrong. As soon as Jamie stood up, his wound began to hurt. Kelly only needs to remember one thing. Jamie doesn't run away. He tries his best not to run away. What happened 5 years ago will not happen again. Hank comes to see Jamie. Here is the business card of attorney Sam Surim. Jamie looks much better than expected. He's trying to find a mask. There's no point in wearing it in front of Hank now. The police are leaning towards the theory that there were no accomplices. According to the investigation, the likelihood of collusion with accomplices is low. They are simply impatient to close the case as quickly as possible. The one who hit Jamie was still different from the usual street robbers. Even after seeing him, he tried to kill that schoolboy until the very end. The one who was caught was just a psycho, but the one who escaped was a real pro. He calculated everything, including the surveillance cameras. There was another hunter targeting the same prey, but the problem was even more serious. This bastard saw Jamie's face. Having failed the hunt, he will definitely try to eliminate the witness. This badge and a receipt from the store were found in the bushes along the escape route. Looks like they've already found him. The Agen Group security guards in front of the ward had the same badge. Agen Group is behind this case, and they completely surrounded the place. Jamie wants to do one more thing with Hank. In the morning, Chen Surim comes into the room and asks Jamie how he is feeling. He doesn't answer, so Chen lifts the blanket. Will is in bed. He asks to let him sleep. Hank asks if Jamie really wants to go there. At the moment, this is the best option. He asks to continue the investigation. If they pay, then, of course, Hank will do everything. But this is brutal. There was no need to go to such trouble and come. To prevent what happened from happening again, we need to actively cooperate. Jamie's testimony contradicts the robbers. If Agen is behind this guy is easy to get rid of. There were no accomplices at the scene, so there are no more questions. They haven't filmed anything together for a long time. Actually, they never worked together. Suddenly Kelly runs somewhere. She saw Jamie. You must come to the first reading. Jamie is fine, and he's counting on Kelly. The first reading of the script for the film Murder begins. The role of Tessu is played by John Lane. Hannah Kelly plays Jinju. Saidi is played by Lin Han. I doubt Jamie can walk around like that. Will probably didn't watch the news. Jamie has the C4 ready and can detonate it at any moment. Celebrity secrets never remain a secret. The veteran actor Kang himself called Park Do-hoon. Perhaps the serial killer was apprehended by a celebrity who did not want to reveal his identity, and netizens are speculating about who is hiding behind the name Dark Hero. Now, if a criminal touches Jamie, the police and the media will chase him. Jamie is protected by a human shield. The badge actually belongs to the security company Aegon, Aegis Guard. The cash receipt was also received near their headquarters. They provide security for the Aegon group. It's strange, but the lawyer for the schoolboy Tom Jones, who turned himself in to the police, was also Chen Surim. It is possible that those who attack and those who defend are from the same organization. Moreover, Jamie could have been their target from the very beginning. He only went there because of information about the robber. 5 years ago, he was attacked by a company. When Hank was handling his drug case, he was about to close it due to lack of evidence, but he was suddenly transferred to the economics department. Someone clearly wanted to stall for time, and for a star in crisis, time means life. Hank discovered that the source of the drug rumors and the pressure behind the investigation all traced back to one company. This is Tayson Foods. Their third largest shareholder is an investment company, where the main owner is Aegon Investment. It was probably Tayson Foods that tormented Jamie 5 years ago, and now, at the very moment of his return, the Aegon Group appears. Because of Tayson's tricks, he spent 5 years at the bottom. If Aegon was behind them, and now they are acting directly, it is unknown whether Jamie will be able to withstand this. And it's not just about him, but also about the film that has just started. They could lose everything. Jamie thought it was just information about the robber, but it turned out to be a silent message. An unknown number calls him. This is Chen Surim. Finding out Jamie's number is easy. Chen apologizes if this is inconvenient. I'd like some of his time. The man Chen represents wants to meet Jamie. The meeting will take place now. A group of people enters the office. They are led by Chen. It's a trap. Chen politely asks Jamie to come with them. Hank calls 111 and reports that there are some unknown people here. Jamie himself is dying to know who it is. The only way out of the impasse is to go straight ahead. If Aegon is behind this, then Jamie will at least know why. Aegon Electronics is developing next-generation AI memory, filming a drama, and the release of a new Aegon laptop is imminent. No matter how much Jamie thinks, there is no connection between them. 5 years ago, it all started with the double contract incident that John reported in the death patch. The then head of the agency arbitrarily entered into a double contract and disappeared, and the scandal surrounding the cancelled event sparked public outrage. But that was just the beginning. Soon, something incomparably worse began. Traces of illegal substances were found on one of the guests at a party at Club G. Jamie was not involved, but rumors began to spread. There was a time when these expressions sounded like jokes. The public, which believed that Korea was a country free of illegal substances, was in shock. The entire country was abuzz with scandals involving illegal substances, and the prosecutor's office had to get at least something. The rage demanded a victim, and Jamie, at the center of the rumors, became the target. Because the slang for illegal substances was meat and weed, a rumor began to circulate that Jamie's butcher shop was a distribution point. Dozens, perhaps hundreds, of protesters demanded compensation for damages. Jamie said he would go through all the investigative procedures honestly. He stated that he had never used illegal substances and had not participated in any crime. He asked to remember this, but no one remembered. Jamie had a long drive. Urine, hair, fingernails, and toenails all tested negative. The fact is that a new investigation has been launched. Stock manipulation, foreign gambling, drunk driving, scandals. It looks like they want to finish it off. Evidence wasn't important, they just needed a scapegoat. It was a cold, systematic beating, and the image that had taken 13 years to build was destroyed. Fines for cancelled advertisements, TV series and films, falling stocks, franchise bankruptcy, embezzlement and management defections, and property seizures. Someone, blinded by envy, leaked information about the double contract to John, and rumors about banned substances to journalists and prosecutors. This is Tayson Food, and behind them is the Aegon Group. That's why Jamie came here. He comes face to face with the shadow of death that loomed over him 5 years ago. Hank is not allowed in. Only Jamie will meet in person. There are too many guards. Chen Surim knocks on the office door. This is the president of Aegon Electronics, Stanley Jones. They are served tea. This is a blended black tea fermented in the highlands of Uva. They dragged me in the middle of the night and offered me tea. They say Jamie was discharged in a hurry. Stanley didn't seem to be seriously concerned about his health. If the patient escaped and something happened to him, Aegon would be in trouble. Besides, Stanley heard some interesting news and couldn't pass it by. Jamie seems to have a talent for making money. It's either a lottery, or gaming company shares, or biotechnology, and every time it's a jackpot. It's like he knows the future. Aegon has really impressive intelligence. Jamie didn't think Stanley would be interested in a small investor. An actor who couldn't appear in public for 5 years due to a fall suddenly appears, collects a ton of money, and launches 2 films into production. Stanley acts like he knows about the voice. Jamie was simply using frozen money, like the kind Agan was saving. Stanley asks who is behind him. Jamie already said. Stanley slams his hand on the table. He stands up and takes a cigar. Let's say Jamie is right. He foresees a future where someone is killed. Stanley asks why he went under the bridge. Checkmate. If he's asking that, then Jamie wasn't the target. He had information that a robbery would take place in that place that night. Since Stanley was digging into his past, he should know that his companion is a detective. Stanley starts laughing. A fallen people's artist becomes the city's defender, a funny marketing ploy. Let's say he got information about a robbery that even the cops couldn't find through a simple agency. However, he somehow knows the name of Stanley's son, Tom Jones. Stanley demands an explanation. If Jamie wants to get out of here alive, he'll have to answer clearly. Tom Jones has not been mentioned in any news about Agan. Perhaps he is an illegitimate son. One thing is for sure, President Jones is furious about the threat to his son, and now that fury is directed at Jamie. Only Stanley and Lawyer Suram know about Tom's existence. Jamie can't tell that this information is from the voice. The voice and Agan say the same thing. Tom Jones was the target that night, and if it wasn't Jamie, then Agan isn't behind Tayson. Stanley said that no one knows about Tom. It seems he was mistaken. This is the badge dropped by the criminal who hit Jamie that night. Stanley recognizes the Aegis Guard badge. Someone from inside Agan is targeting his son. He needs to find out who this person is, not focus on Jamie. He got this badge from somewhere and is now trying to lead Stanley by the nose. If he doesn't believe Jamie, maybe he will believe Agan Hospital. Jamie almost died saving his son. Besides, the criminal saw his face, and now he became a target too. An investigation needs to be conducted. But if there is a criminal among the Aegis Guards, that is Agan's problem. There is no need to interfere in family affairs anymore. If Stanley does this, Jamie will only be grateful. But since he is also involved, the question of his safety arises. Don't cross the line. This is the last warning. They will definitely catch the criminal, so there is no need to worry unnecessarily. In return, they will settle accounts cleanly and without traces, because Jamie really did save Tom. So Stanley wants to shut him up. Jamie can think whatever he wants. He's not one to refuse, so he'll take whatever Stanley gives him. Stanley asks how much he needs. Jamie isn't talking about money. It is not Agan who is behind all this, but the force that manipulated the prosecutor's office and the media to destroy him. Tayson Foods couldn't cope alone. Will enters. Jamie hides the folder in the drawer. For some reason, the director always arrives first. Here is another contract. That's right, one for the film My Mother, Paula Stone, and the other for Carol and Lynn's management. Carol thinks Jamie is playing a joke on her. Her reaction made him nervous. It all started with Kelly. The contract term is only 1 year. From now on, all contracts will be for 1 year only. Carol saw Kelly chained to the FNF for 10 years. They want to eliminate slave contracts completely. Lynn asks when the extension will be. If they screw up, Jamie won't renew his contract, so they have to give it their all every year. Carol has already said that her mother was a fan of Jamie. She wants to become like him. This is impossible. Jamie thought long and hard about their contracts and whether someone like him, who had hit rock bottom, could mentor actors. But it seems like it can. Since he himself has gone through a failure, he knows how to prevent it from happening to them. And there are those who will help them. They must know Will Min-jae. Management definitely requires coaches and directors, but Gyomi himself is in chaos. They have someone they can entrust all this to. This is Helen Steele. Will work with Lynn, and Helen will work with Carol. Hedon has extensive experience working in the theater and can teach more than just acting. When she saw how humiliated Jamie was, she swore she would never come back here. But after Carol's press conference, she couldn't stay away. It was as if she saw Jamie 5 years ago. You should never allow yourself to be trampled. There's one more thing left, an important announcement. Kelly enters. She became even more beautiful. So this is the important announcement. Kelly has nothing to do with it. Today's announcement topic is Carol and Lynn's second project. These include leading roles in the web drama Agan Electronics, as well as a 3-year contract to advertise their laptops. This is difficult to obtain even for large companies, especially for 3 years. Jamie could have demanded money that day, but a thought flashed through his head. For voice entertainment to grow steadily, it first needs a business model that can break even. So Jamie used the information he had gathered before meeting Stanley Jones. On a day like this, we should really celebrate. Kelly is coming too, as voice entertainment is now in full force. Of course, Stanley meant that Jamie should remain silent for 3 years. If the director goes to a corporate party, it means he pays. The Voice's launch went off without a hitch, with not only the lead role in The Killing, but also a completely new cast and a retro exam-style presentation creating a buzz. VIP Pictures has agreed to distribute the independent film My Mother by Paula Stone. During this time, using information from The Voice, Jamie increased his assets. Several weeks passed like this. Jamie asks if everything is calm at the My Mother production site, Paula Stone. It's totally relaxing, the scenery is beautiful, and Amanda Stone takes good care of them. Jamie really wanted to go, but he didn't have time today. He'd better think about himself, since he's returning there for the first time in 5 years. Helen has no need to worry, it's better to take care of Carol. It's finally started. Jamie came to the set of the film The Killing. The assistant director mistook him for a participant in the filming. He told Jamie to follow him to the actor's waiting room. He was told to watch his food, but here he is. Apparently, he confused Jamie with an actor. Jamie thinks Lynn is very nervous, but it's the staff who are nervous, not her. She is so businesslike that she has no weak points at all. She already has a nickname, the Ice Princess. It's unclear what Jamie is doing on set. He makes John nervous. It's a strange feeling to be watching from the outside, because Jamie used to be the center of attention on the set. But now he began to see what he had not noticed before. These are the control points and routes of the staff, the atmosphere between the actors, what completes this living being called cinema. Maybe the place where Jamie stood wasn't the real center. Because of his greed, innocent children died. His greed, which he had raised as a monster, eventually pulled the trigger. There's something wrong with John's acting. He doesn't look well. He needs to collect his thoughts a little. It was Jamie who showed up for some reason, and John even looks like shit in front of him. Jamie startled him by appearing from around the corner. John plays the worst of all, and this is despite the fact that he is the main character. Jamie pushed him into this film because he's an amazing actor. There are plenty of people who are showered with money and pretend to be top actors, but John is different. First of all, he has a shitty character, so you can't cover it up with money. And his level of performance is different. If you take away his acting, there will be nothing left. There's no one here more experienced than him. This is director Ted Menhun's first commercial film. If John screws up, everything will collapse. He can handle it, just stop nagging him. He has to act like he really wants to kill that bastard. Everything went according to plan, except for one thing. Tom Jones appeared. It all ended in the morning, and the whole schedule went down the drain. Lynn is stubborn, the director liked it, but she insists that she can do better and asks to reshoot. We need to at least finish putting together the profile. Someone is cleaning the office and asks Will to move his foot. This is an intern. His name is Tom Jones. So, he's been dragging himself here for a week now to become an actor. Today is the last day. From tomorrow onwards, I won't be setting foot here again. Tom would do anything if Jamie just gave him a chance. No more dealings with influential families. Jamie understands his situation, but he can't help. Will asks why Tom needs to be an actor. It's funny, his mother was also an actress and said he had talent. Then I should have gone to my mother's friends, not here. Tom's mother died when he was 10. They finished eating. Tom will throw out the trash and come back. It's strange why the agency director is worried about some intern. It's unclear whether Tom understands what it means to carry someone else's life as an actor. Let him play, and it will become clear that if Jamie starts criticizing him, he will immediately shit his pants. Here's a collection of rehearsals, and there's someone who can play along. Will warm up a bit. He pretends to be a girl and asks if Tom will date her. She doesn't even know him. In such a situation, and still focused. Even though he received help, it couldn't be bought for such a pittance. Tom had just been given the script. Jamie thought it would be a total flop. Whatever he says, nothing is out of place, everything is natural. Acting coach Harold Gaskin once said that the best acting is when you're not acting. And now this guy is not acting. It's as if a character from the script has taken over his life. Enough. Jamie asks where Tom learned to play like that. He says as a child with his mother. And lately, he's been watching all sorts of things on YouTube. He achieved this level on his own. There is clearly something hidden here. He has talent. But he can't join their company. It's better for him to tell his father about it. He'll open a whole agency for him. This old codger can't stand it when Tom plays. In any case, he can't come here. Jamie would be better off sending him to Big C Entertainment. He can't go there either. He wants to go here. Tom asks why Jamie saved him. He knew his name from the very beginning. Tom is a fake, because from the very beginning, the man called his father cut him and his mother out of Agon's life. Nobody in his family knows that he exists. Even at school, they don't know who he really is. That's why he always played the role of the fake Tom Jones. To survive as a bastard in a powerful family, he wore a mask every day for him. Acting is not just a talent, but a survival instinct. But Tom doesn't need to lie to Jamie. He can play without pretending. For real, his father hates it when he plays because it reminds him of his mother. Tom gets down on his knees. He wants to become a real actor. He wants to go back to the days when he played in front of his mother, being himself. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Jamie's mother also died when he was little, and the one who was called his father ran away before he was born. Jamie thought that if he became famous, maybe his father would find him. He probably still wanted to see him. And this dream came true. True, it wasn't his father who came to him, but his debt collectors. He took out loans in Jamie's name and was also said to have dealt in illegal drugs. It must be funny to wait for a person who was never interested in you. Tom seems fake because he's always looking at what he doesn't have. He rides an expensive motorcycle, lives in a mansion, and even if he doesn't go to school, no one cares, all thanks to his father. He already has a lot, a father, comfortable conditions, and a talent for acting. He is the real Tom Jones. If he focuses on himself and not on other people's opinions, he can become that real actor. This high school student is slightly better at acting than Will, but he is not sure about his looks. Jamie has high standards. There must be something special about this guy. Jamie wasn't bothered by his family dramas. Every newcomer has enthusiasm. But for him, acting is like a ritual of remembrance for his mother. It reminded Jamie of his past, when he had to get back on his feet without his mother. Maybe taking Tom into the project is his own path to salvation. He just plays well. Helen will train him harshly, just as she once trained Jamie. But there are conditions. Tom must return to school. And no motorcycles. Jamie also told him to move up 10 places in the class rankings. Tom said that his father was against his acting and that something needed to change for the deal to take place. If Tom keeps his word, Jamie will try to persuade his father. Lynn would be a good fit to promote Agon's web drama, and Carol's laptop ads would create a friendly image. The problem is President Stanley Jones, but raising grades at school is no easy task. But before Jamie could think about it, trouble struck. Stanley came to him. He warned not to cross the line. Stanley asks why Tom always comes here. He came himself and said that he wanted to become an actor. That's all Jamie can give Stanley. He caught the one who wanted to harm Tom and attacked Jamie. It would be great if Jamie didn't get dragged into it again and start drawing unwanted attention. Stanley seems to have caught the criminal, but he is still nervous. In some sense, he is a truly naive person. Experienced actors immediately grasp the essence of a character, the image of the hero, his situation, and the psychology behind his actions. Jamie doesn't know what's going on inside Agon, but the anxiety is palpable everywhere. It seems that Tom takes after his mother, and Stanley has no talent for acting at all. He didn't catch the criminal. His expression was still troubled, and he came to Jamie without security. He still seems to think there is danger. Behind the caught criminal, there is a real one. Stanley is simply trying to prevent possible risks. It becomes dangerous to be around someone as visible as Jamie. That's why Stanley is against acting. He's afraid that Tom will become a target. Jamie saw the criminal himself. If there is someone else hunting Tom, it can no longer be hidden. Tom himself said that his father erased everything connected with him and his mother from Agon. Stanley is against acting because he wants to erase even a trace of her existence. This child believes that he has been living as a fake Tom Jones up until now. He no longer wants to hide and wants to show himself through acting. This will put everyone in danger. Jamie doesn't understand how cruel Agon is. Stanley's father didn't allow him to be with her from the very beginning. He said that this was the wrong answer. Children are just details for the transfer of power in the corporation. There was no choice from the very beginning. Stanley has experienced this the hard way since childhood. If he holds on to the wrong answer, he knows how it all ends. Those who are nearby disappear. There was only one way to protect both her and Tom. He had to become Agon and make all his choices right. He didn't erase them. It was a way of protecting himself. Stanley hid for 20 years to get it all back, and now Jamie is ruining it. Once the transfer of power in the company is complete, everyone will return to normal life. Now, Jamie understands everything. In fact, it is not Agon who is cruel, but Stanley. For Tom, life as Agon's heir is not an ordinary life. This life was obtained at the price of his erasure. Or perhaps Stanley was simply guarding his chair. He says he's protecting the family from Agon, but in reality, he's preventing Tom from moving forward. Tom found a solution, a way to save his life. If you can't hide anymore, you need to become famous, so famous that no one dares to touch you. So that he would be accompanied by security, and it would not look strange, so that he would be under the 24-hour attention of society. We need to change the approach and make him the most famous actor. Tom is a rare talent for his age. For him, the stage is the safest place. And also his mother, it was Heather Sohn. She was a true role model. Jamie asks to be allowed to take Tom under his wing. He will raise him into an actor that Heather would not be ashamed of. We need to give him back the dream that he raised with his mother. Jamie didn't hear back from Stanley that day. The choice is not easy. We will have to wait and see. This is the same guy that Director Khan was talking about. He actually moved up 10 places in his class. Now he is in 15th place. There are 25 students in total. So Tom was the last one. A man must keep his word. Dad asked me to tell Jamie this. Tom himself doesn't know what it is. But when he handed it over, he said that a merchant must be able to count accurately. Jamie takes out the contents of the envelope. Nothing special. Jamie suggests going out to celebrate the event. He treats. He had some hope that it would be a new contract, but it was not an easy gift. This is a secret file of Tayson Food Company. It contains the whole truth about Jamie's fall 5 years ago. He said he would buy anything, but ended up ordering soy soup. A real actor eats anything. Team leader Helen Steele will be teaching the lesson, so Tom should listen carefully and not try to cause trouble at school. Jay Juvis are back. These are hidden S-class idols. They have really cool songs, and they compose them themselves. Jamie needs to answer the phone. This is the same number. J. Juvis Diane Hwajin will die. Jamie wants to appoint Hank Soo as head of security. He has time to think. There is a request to investigate J. Juvis member Diane Hwajin. A few days after her spectacular comeback performance, she committed suicide in the agency building. It looks like someone threatened her. We need to get to the bottom of it. This is the FNF agency. Organized involvement is suspected. It stinks of something very dirty. There's no need to worry about money. We just need to get all the right people involved and find evidence before Juvis makes his comeback. Hank asks why Jamie is trying so hard. He's not even a former cop, but he wants to save people who are not close to him at all. Hank just asked. He said he doesn't ask clients questions. But once they sign the contract, Jamie better answer, because from that moment on, he will no longer be a client, but family. Hank won't hear the answer because Jamie didn't have a reason to begin with. He had no need to interfere in the affairs of idols who had nothing to do with cinema, and he wanted to ignore this information. But the voice had never yet told him about something that did not concern him. The enemy is FNF. At first, Jamie thought it was a coincidence. The banned substance used in the wine case is the same one that was involved in the G Club case 5 years ago. FNF, who are suspected of being involved in the wine case, were apparently also involved in Jamie's case. That's why the voice kept pointing to FNF. The key clue to Jamie's downfall lies there. He saves not Diane Hwajin, but himself. The president comes out. This is FNF President Sam Gap. Someone is filming it. This is Hank. He's keeping an eye on Sam. Filming of the killing is in full swing. Lynn played very well. She tries hard. The whole film crew praises her. Jamie asks if it's hard being an actress. Lynn says not particularly. Jamie gets up. Lynn is grateful to him for helping her sister. She misunderstood him, thought that he was pestering her. She feels guilty and will work even harder. Jamie couldn't help but laugh. Lynn's speech was too formal. It reminded me of textbook texts. Kelly is looking for Jamie. This Sam Gap guy has a lot of connections. Loan sharks, bandits. Now he's in a motel, having an affair with an intern who's young enough to be his daughter. He has a luxurious villa in Gangwon-do where he hosts receptions for VIP guests. Hank saw some of the political and business elite there. As soon as the VIP guests enter, the girls immediately come, mostly trainees or actresses from FNF. Sam arranges sex services and sponsorship with his actresses and interns. Diane Hwajin was there too, but she is very young. She is 20, she only recently became an adult. Dirty bastards. Kelly heard everything. Jamie is up to something again. Yesterday afternoon, someone Jamie knows came to Sam's mansion. It was Deathpatch journalist Park Do-hoon. Kelly approaches Jamie. She asks what he's doing here. Jamie says nothing. Perhaps he is overdoing it. He grovels before Lynn, but doesn't even ask Kelly if she's eaten. She's the main character. After all, she needs to take care of herself. Jamie is up to something dangerous again. He himself knows that he has been behaving strangely lately. First the story with the wine, then the Carol case. He knew everything in advance. It seems Kelly doesn't know what it's like to be unemployed for 5 years, wanting to figure out everything you couldn't do during that time, saying that you don't have enough time because you've been resting for those 5 years. Jamie also acted in films and knows that when you work, you involuntarily begin to be distracted by unnecessary thoughts. Kelly is not worried about him now, she just does not want to work. Jamie is busy and she needs to focus on filming too. They haven't seen each other for a long time. If Puck had been an ordinary journalist, Jamie would have suspected something was wrong. But this man is a devilish journalist. Many people from show business tried to dig up dirt on him, but to no avail. The secret, oddly enough, is his impeccable self-discipline. He sells his soul for exclusivity. There is little chance that he will succumb to primitive temptations, but everything requires verification. Jamie shows Puck a photograph of himself with Sam Gap. Puck was used to being followed, but he didn't know that Jamie had the same interests. He needs a deal. It looks more like blackmail than a deal. Jamie gets down to business. This is a treat for the trainees. In this mansion, Sam Gap hosts receptions for VIP guests with girls who have barely reached adulthood. And Puck was there. These photos could be leaked. Jamie wants to believe he's innocent, but those Puck exposed might think otherwise. That bastard Sam Gap dared to touch his family. Puck mentioned a family trip at the meeting, so Sam suggested the mansion. He said it was free. Puck thought he was just being polite, but it turns out his children almost ended up in this dirty place. Puck asks what the deal is. It doesn't end there. FNF is behind the wine business, and they were also involved in organizing the party at Club G 5 years ago. It's black metal, the very substance that earned Jamie the nickname National Addict. This means that FNF is involved in trafficking prohibited substances, and this case must be immediately referred to the prosecutor's office. The prosecutor's office has protection, so the wine case remains unsolved, and Jamie still cannot appear in public. He will regain his honor. We need to spread FNF. Apparently, he is offering to pay for the past. Jamie gives Puck a chance to get revenge on the bastard who almost hurt his family and shake up show business once again with an exclusive. Very elegant blackmail. But maybe Park already knew about it. In fact, he is investigating the strange death of actor Chen Sungbin in conjunction with the program I Want to Know. Things weren't progressing, so Park decided to go to the mansion. With this investigation, they can prevent other tragedies in show business. Park is also angry when he thinks about his daughter, but he needs to approach this differently. They will have a party too. Alan himself said that there are many dangerous accusations against the FNF for which there is no evidence. Kelly asks if there was any information about the villa in Gangwon in the investigation documents. Alan remembers the promise he made when he took Kelly from FNF, an honest relationship with no secrets. She asks to tell her what happened at that villa in Gangwon. If they have an honest relationship, then Alan will ask too. He asks if it has anything to do with Jamie and why Kelly always gets so worked up when it comes to him. Because she loves him. When Park told about the mansion, everyone at home was delighted. He will look around and report. Park enters the mansion. When Hank finds a comfortable place, let him speak. First, let's go to the audio equipment. The I Want to Know program team and the Manager Sue team are in action. The cameras will start filming soon. Now it's Jamie's turn to direct. Filming of Revenge begins. They will do everything possible to get to the bottom of the truth. When they said it was a schedule for the villa, Diane Hwajan thought it was just an advertisement for the villa or something like that. And then she realized that all this was for the so-called maintenance. They said that because of her, others would suffer. Sam Gap had already built and prepared all the girls. Among them is an idol named Diane Hwajan, who is making a comeback soon, so Sam is keeping a special eye on her. He'll probably invite Mei Lee too, she's having a good time. Sam looks at her schedule, she comes over, he will prepare her immediately. The guests are important, so no mistakes. By the way, about that incident with wine and prohibited substances, we need to deal with it for sure. So Sam is going to keep working dirty, he has no idea what the chairman went through to stop it. He hung up. Sam orders Mei Lee to be called immediately. Kelly wants Will to go to Gangwon-do. He himself said that a purchase was made there a minute ago using a corporate card. Jamie is up to something again, it's dangerous there. 2 men and 3 girls gathered in the mansion. Among them is Diane. Today their clients are rich kids from wealthy families. One is the youngest son of the owner of K Alcohol. The other is the second son of the head of Deconstructions. It seems like one seat is empty. Diane is an idol, she dances well. She is asked to show a dance. It looks like she's been with them for a short time, completely frozen with fear. Then, you need to lift your spirits. If Diane has fun with them, they will thank her properly. This is black metal. If you drink it, your mood will immediately rise. It even helps you relax before going on stage. Diane will drink and see a new world. Jamie tells Hank to go inside now. Park grabs his hand. There's nothing we can do. Now we need to capture the decisive moment. Diane knew what she was getting into. Another VIP entered. Such a long journey must have tired him. Hank is filming. This is that same crazy bastard from Tyson Food, CEO John Chong. He asks what they have done here. We decided, so to speak, to warm up the atmosphere before his arrival. But this bitch is breaking. Apparently, the directors have already started. Diane has a comeback coming up soon, so things might be tough with Black today. It seems he is burdening Mr. Gap unnecessarily. The freak has completely lost his sense of smell. Sam falls. Everything fits together to form a coherent picture. The party at Club G was organized by FNF, and the dirty rumor about Jamie's involvement in illegal substances was spread by Tyson Food. The 2 of them pushed Jamie into hell. And behind all this is John Chong. He is the main one. He told Sam not to talk nonsense in front of clients. John will talk to him and let them rest. Having fun is good, but his partner shouldn't be touched. John said to prepare a girl who knows how to entertain. He asks how the wine joint in Cheongdam-dong came about. The preparation was perfect, but Big C dug up the information. When Sam found the source of the leak, Jamie Khan surfaced. 6 years ago, when they started working with newcomers, this jerk interfered. Then there were problems with the party at Club G. Among the new faces is an actress named Kelly Jinju, who has been cast by Jamie Kang as the lead female role. It's unclear why a star of such magnitude would choose an unknown actress. It might be worthwhile to shut down this operation. On the contrary, it turned out great. They'll put on a show, replace the unknown actress with Jamie. To launch Black, you couldn't find a more suitable advertising face. This is Sam's specialty, let him add the poison quietly. He will catch those who can be caught using illegal substances, and he will keep those who have gotten into debt on a leash. And you can also add some scandals. Double contracts, filming disruptions, and the like. When the mongrels come running to the table, then they will start the Black. It all worked out. The people's star took the place of the unknown actress. And black metal became the market leader. And they wanted to use Kelly Jinju one more time. But Jamie ruins everything again. It seems he hasn't learned anything in 5 years. We need to make sure he doesn't come here again. Or better yet, kill him. The matter turned out to be much more serious than Park thought. However, when work was underway on Ben Sungmin, there was no trace of Chong. Sam destroyed his competitors with illegal substances, while John profited handsomely from the trafficking of these substances and manipulated the prosecutor's office and the media. He didn't surface earlier because he was hiding behind Sam. With such a scale, it becomes dangerous. The doctor warned about the dangers of excessive dopamine release. Someone is calling John, but he told me not to look for him today. Flies swarmed in. Jamie and Puck were found. This means that the little rats were hiding all this time. The weather today is just right for burying someone. We need to transfer the data. If Puck wants to die without pain, let him get out himself. Jamie says he'll come out, but instead he slams the car door. We need to transfer dates quickly. The bandit is going to break down the door, but someone knocks him down. This is Hank. The bandit was going to break someone else's expensive car. A fight begins. These are our own voice entertainment security. Flies have stuck to it. We need to clean them up quickly. If they are late, they will die. We need to remove the evidence and quickly drag out those who are in the room. Diane touches the bottle of black. The road is terrible. They will fly out if they accelerate. With this GPS, you can only check the time. The radius is too big. They arrive at the scene. There is no one. There is light visible in the forest. These are headlights. Looks like this is a help. The bandit breaks the window of Park's car. He opens the door and grabs Jamie. Now he will send him to another world. A police car pulls up here. We need to leave. The suspects in the attack have fled and urgent support is needed. They almost screwed up because of the GPS. Will told them to get the new model. Looks like even Hank got his share. Everything is fine. Jamie is going home. Kelly is standing outside his apartment. He went crazy. It's late. She'd better go home. Usually at such moments, they offer to stay and eat ramen. Jamie allowed Kelly in. She suddenly hugged him. This time, she needs a chance to pay him back for everything. The water boiled. The structure is ready. We can finish editing, but it's doubtful that it's even worth posting. They've had so much crap after the sectarians. Enough whining. Next week, they're going to have a real blast. A week later, Diane Huajin is lying in bed. She doesn't attend rehearsals and doesn't make contact. The J. Juvis members are worried about her. Diane takes Jamie's business card. It was possible to sort out this matter. Thanks to this person, he also asked that his personal data be securely protected and asked that his words be conveyed. If things get tough, Diane can come anytime. The world of show business on screen seems bright and enticing, but behind this window, dressing lies a dark truth. And sometimes things happen there that are embarrassing to even talk about. Today, on the program I Want to Know, they will talk about the real state of affairs in agencies that exploit the dreams and souls of young artists. That bastard John isn't getting in touch. He promised to connect Sam with investors a long time ago. Sam gets a call from Director Chu asking if he saw the broadcast. There's a scandal, the program I Want to Know. A year ago, she came to FNF as an intern, full of hope, but what awaited her was not success, but a nightmare. The president called her every night and, citing boredom, treated her like a toy. He said his goal was 100 partners. We need to find out who this bitch is immediately and stop the broadcast. It's Director Chu, not Sam, who should know how to shut down a national channel. Sam pays him a salary for that, so let him prepare a refutation. They decided to follow them. It is a luxury villa in Gangwon-do owned by FNF. On the night of the 10th, girls from the agency arrived here, mostly interns or little-known artists. But they weren't the only ones who arrived at the villa that night. 30 minutes later, 3 expensive cars arrived. They housed high-ranking officials from politics and business. FNF employees called them VIPs. At the party inside the villa, the artists served VIP guests. Such a party took place the next day and 2 days later, and that's not all. They gave the artists drinks, calling them a cure for fatigue, but after drinking them, the girl immediately felt lethargic. FNF provided VIPs and artists with illegal substances. It was a problem that Alan had been unable to solve for years, but Jamie managed to solve it all in a few months. This is evidence obtained on the spot. One artist took a risk and gave it to them, but it wasn't just any illegal substance. This is the black metal that shook South Korea, which was then considered a country free of prohibited substances. More recently, black metal also appeared at the site of the so-called Cheongdam-dong wine incident. And the link between all these cases is presumably the FNF, but the investigation is still at a standstill. The longer it drags on, the deeper the truth buries itself. The people demand a thorough investigation and justice. John finally picked up the phone. Sam seemed to be very scared. Since this is how it turned out, we need to be patient for a little while. They will try to reduce Sam's sentence as much as possible. John had securely covered up his secret funds, foreign accounts, and bribe books. They should look to the future. There is no point in ruining everything over such a trifle. The police are knocking on Sam's apartment. The main man in this case is John Chong, and producer Smith has covered it all up with anonymity. Pak knows perfectly well what position they are in. If they started airing this, they would be stopped by a court injunction and the whole program would go to hell. Smith crossed the line. They collected these materials, risking their lives. We need to highlight a page in this week's issue. The headline will be, "Where is People's Artist K? Another FNF victim." The public's anger flares up again, but John is not in the flames. He's probably looking down from above, where Jamie can't yet reach. This is just the beginning. Soon, he will go up there and kill John. Kelly saw the program too. This event was added by the director, VIP meeting at a villa in Gangwon-do. 6 years ago, Jamie saved Kelly. When she was a nobody, he recommended her for the leading role. It was the light that illuminated her life. Jamie was her salvation. But he paid for this with a brutal collapse of his career. So, FNF wanted to involve Kelly in the villa reception and the party at Club G. But due to Jamie's intervention, the plan fell through, and they ended up making him dependent. But the provided graph cannot be conclusive evidence. Ultimately, Kelly was not harmed, and it is difficult to launch an investigation based only on circumstantial circumstances. They will only needlessly ruin her reputation. That's the point. 5 years after the G Club drug scandal, everyone only remembers Jamie. Kelly wants everyone to know that anyone could have been in his place. The witnesses' questioning took a lot of time. They should have investigated this a long time ago, but they only started moving after the broadcast. Kelly doesn't have filming today, so she can eat jjajangmyeon. She has an interview. This is about Jamie. It's time to bring him back on stage. On air on the OBC channel, the first news about the shocking case of parties and prohibited substances. Everyone's in a frenzy right now. FNF are real demons. The flood of condemnation directed at them began to grow rapidly. Searches were flooded with queries about FNF, parties, and illegal substances, and the media quickly began releasing sequels. Government agencies also began to quickly express their position, and public anger was directed mainly at Sam Gap. Now he's a victim, just like Jamie was 5 years ago. At this moment, Park Do-hoon's article came out. She revealed in detail the essence of the Club G case, which was only briefly mentioned on air. So Jamie Khan was also set up by FNF. He had a positive image. He was driven into the abyss by one fake. The time of revival is approaching. But it's too early to rejoice. At this moment, there is still a person trembling with fear. Jamie comes to Dane Hwajin. She doesn't open. Jamie leaves, leaving the bag by the door. Then Diane opens the door. She took out the contents of the package. This is a microphone and a note from Jamie. He hopes that because of this story, Diane's voice will never disappear from this world and that her voice will become voice entertainment. Time flows differently for everyone. It took Jamie 5 years to get out of hell, like a dark cave. I wonder how long it will take Diane. All that remains is to wait until the person realizes that someone is waiting for him. Today with them is actress Kelly Jinju. They say she wants to say something special to their listeners today. While filming the killing, she realized she wanted to thank one person. The presenter believes that it is the main actor, John Lane, but Kelly will talk about him in the episode about enemies. They are very interested in who it is. Thanks to this man, Kelly is here now. You could say he saved her. He recommended her, and she got her first leading role. He was the first to recognize Kelly's potential when she was unknown. But yesterday, after watching the program, she realized that she owed him even more. This was a journalistic investigation about the FNF agency. Although it was all anonymous, Kelly found out because the party at the Gangwon Villa was on her old schedule. If Kelly hadn't been cast in the lead role back then, she would have been dragged to that party. Although it didn't make the news, she almost became a victim in the Cheongdam-dong liquor ring, and he saved her back then too. His name is Jamie Khan. But after the show, Kelly realized it wasn't over. 5 years ago, she found a post about a party at Club G in her schedule. FNF groomed her from the start to become the face of the drug scandal. Enough, they'll get into trouble for this. But when that plan fell through, they brought in Jamie instead of Kelly. She will take this opportunity to speak. 5 years ago, actor Jamie Khan became a victim in her place. He lost everything, being branded with completely unsubstantiated rumors. Kelly wants there to be no one left who doesn't know this. Actor Jamie Khan is innocent. Tomorrow will probably be noisy, but that's Alan's concern. Let Kelly go home and not watch the news for now. Today, she will go with him, otherwise he will continue to torment Alan with telephone terrorism. Jamie always shows up when he wants to. He is silent. Kelly asks if he will continue to remain silent. She must have felt better. Jamie turns towards his house. He wants to show something. They climb onto the roof. Kelly asked how Jamie survived in this place. For 5 years, when things were so hard that he wanted to die, this was his only refuge. Here, everything is filled with old, shabby houses, and in the distance, skyscrapers shine blindingly. This must be Uido, the very place where Jamie lived, as if on a battlefield. Yes, for him, it was a battlefield. Kelly asks why he didn't say that FNF did this to him instead of her. It wasn't like it was in her place, and she didn't need to know that. Right, she's just a newbie who's causing nothing but trouble. That's why Kelly asks you not to interfere in her life. Jamie was always strong and never needed Kelly's help. He always shone alone, and she was just a stone in his path. Kelly is the most terrible woman. No ability, no talent, but dreams to the sky. If it weren't for Jamie, she would have ended up in that villa in Gangwon. She hates herself because all she can do is pour out these feelings to him. So there is no need to contact her anymore. Kelly has her first shoot today. We need to help her get into the rhythm. Jamie told her not to be nervous and just play like usual. It's better for him to worry about himself. She's in a great mood today. As always, Kelly does things her own way. She took the only chance she had, which she had hardly gotten, and with a talent that others did not have, she rose to the top herself. That's why Jamie offered her the lead role, so no nonsense. Because she was chosen for the lead role, he became prey to FNF. He is taking revenge, and this is something so insanely dangerous that an ordinary person could not even imagine it. Every day, Kelly will cower in fear and only learn from the news whether Jamie is alive or not, and it will always be like this. Such a shining star is always showered with praise. She thinks she will shine forever on dazzling nights, but when the sun rises, all this shine is forgotten. Feelings that seemed sincere quickly cool down tomorrow. People will reach out to a new light. Now Kelly swears too. But when the whole world turned against Jamie, she simply watched. She tried to find out something, but she had to think about contracts and people around her. Artists who live by the love of their fans can never side with the people's drug addict. In the end, you just return to normal life, because that's how humans are made. So let Kelly live the same way and continue to shine in her place. She thought that if she got to the top, she could stand next to Jamie. But he was no longer there. For 5 years, Kelly was tormented by a nightmare about meeting him. When she sees him, she gets worried. When she begins to forget, she gets sad again, and if she comes closer, Jamie runs away. He playfully turns other people's feelings inside out and begins to lecture. In fact, all he does is run away, no matter how a person is structured. When he was at his worst, Kelly just wanted to be the one to reach out to him first. She waited for 5 years, not knowing whether he was alive or dead, and he says she only watched. Jamie is grateful that she waited, but it sounds like an admission. That's right. Kelly loves him. Thanks to him, she was able to become an actress, and acting became even more dear to her. Kelly kisses Jamie. They say he met with Kelly yesterday. It was only for a minute because of the schedule, but it was somehow suspicious. A series of attacks in Yongin shook the entire city, but a brave man was found who apprehended the criminal. It turned out that this man was actor Jamie Khan. These cops couldn't take it anymore and leaked it ahead of time. The scent is wonderful. It smells like Jamie Khan is back. After Park Do-hoon's article and Kelly's interview, news about Jamie started exploding like bombs. There seemed to be more articles than in his best years. Everything turned upside down in an instant, as if nothing had happened. Jamie gets a call from Stanley Jones. He asks if Jamie received the gift, an article in Hanyang Ilbo. Perhaps this is a bribe with a hint to take care of Tom, since Jamie has time for jokes, which means he is not so busy. He walks onto the set. A crowd surrounds him. Jamie is congratulated on his return. The actors and crew prepared a joint gift. Jamie opens the box. It has a clock and an inscription. Now it's Jamie Khan time again. It's time to get ready for filming. Thanks to Jamie, both the film and the movie truck came to life. He is temporarily banned from the set. Because of him, the filming could be disrupted after all. He saw how many journalists were outside. There are really a lot of them. So Liam kicks him out, the investor, and the producer. Let it just be temporarily removed. Today, you can't see that handsome manager next to Jamie. They say he waited for him for 5 whole years. Several weeks passed, during which time public interest in Jamie's return grew even stronger, and old videos began to gain popularity again. He was once declared Person of the Week as the most talked about person. And on one personal channel, which no one paid attention to, a video posted several months ago began to rapidly gain popularity. This was a video taken on the bus when Jamie prevented an accident. Incredible evidence has emerged that Jamie Khan saved bus passengers before being arrested as a serial killer. The video was filmed inside a bus that left Migim station. At midnight, a drunk man began to distract the driver. This could have led to a major accident. And at this moment, a brave citizen appears and neutralizes the troublemaker. And immediately after tragedy is averted, the identity of this citizen is revealed. It was actor Jamie Khan. The drunk stood up and tried to make a scene, and the passenger was so scared that she was shaking all over. And at that moment, Jamie hugged the drunk and calmed him down. Jamie Khan, who was called a people's artist, can now confidently be called a people's hero. With everyone waiting for official news about his return, internet users have nicknamed Jamie Captain Khan. Meanwhile, it emerged that he had also helped an intern who had suffered harassment in the film industry. Jamie looks out the window. There is a crowd of journalists in front of the office. Will noticed it too. To be honest, it's not just about journalists. Jamie gets into trouble and gathers people together almost every day. Helen is especially worried about Carol. She needs peace now. Jamie wants to move. He had his eye on not just an office, but an entire building. He is preparing for the future in 5 years and wants to create a big and strong team that nothing can shake. Helen thought he was still a child. Jamie's at it again. He's already invested a ton of money into the film. It's unlikely he ever made Will worry about money. Over the past few weeks, The Voice has provided several insights into stock market investing and even lottery information. Jamie bought a building in Gwangju City, Gyeonggi Province, a site for the construction of a second plant with 5 semiconductor lines and more than 40 partner companies. This investment is expected to create 20,000 jobs and generate added value of 150 trillion won. From this moment on, they will start raking in money. Full-scale preparations for the move to the new office have begun. It quickly took shape thanks to Helen overseeing the entire renovation. On the second floor, there will be reading rooms and a meeting room. On the third floor, there will be rehearsal rooms and a recreation room. And on the fourth floor, there will be offices. Finally, their own base camp is born. It doesn't take long to get here from Seoul. Lin finished in the early morning again, so she's probably passed out by now. But the work is progressing incredibly quickly. Jamie is suddenly called out by a man. Will asks who he is. He was in such a hurry that he didn't even introduce himself. He owns a Chinese eatery on the ground floor. He wanted to thank Jamie personally. He reduced the rent for restaurants by 50%. They were already thinking about closing due to the crisis. Jamie didn't just lower it, it's an investment. They are always on the run, so being able to eat in peace is vital for them. Jamie is more worried about the diner owner being disturbed by journalists or fans, but for him, it's better than sitting without customers. There is a Chinese restaurant, a cook pub, and a samgyeopsal here. These are Will's favorite dishes, and it's the first time Jamie has made something for him. Hank arrives. He says he brought her. Jamie will go to the meeting and return. He attracts a new face. They have barely overcome one difficulty, and it is expanding again. Jamie felt she would be more comfortable in a quiet place. He is grateful that Diane came. She searched for Juvis online and found nothing except a couple of articles about the disbandment. The remaining participants went to different agencies. Jamie heard that Diane had decided to give up her dream of becoming a singer. Now it's too scary for her to go on stage. Jamie heard the song Diane wrote and he liked it. Diane did a little extra work, but the company mostly handled the arrangements. Tom said that Juvis are hidden S-class idols. Jamie doesn't know much about music, but the fact that there's a guy who almost got into trouble because he was hooked on Diane's songs is a sign. They have a huge fan of hers in their company. Jamie even carefully asked a few experts about the songs she wrote. The reviews are good. But in this industry, it's already over for her. That's not true. The real end will come when Diane herself gives up her talent. That's what they're waiting for. Those bastards at FNF wanted to turn artists into puppets instead of letting them develop their talents. If Diane gives up everything, it will play into their hands. Jamie wants to invest in her talent and help with systematic training. Maybe she wants to bring back her music, which almost disappeared because of FNF. Diane is grateful that Jamie came to her then and that he gave her a chance. This was the first seed planted by Voice Entertainment. It may take a very long time to gain a foothold in a new field. But if they don't give up, Diane will use her voice to open a new chapter in her life. Jamie finally left the basement apartment. The voice said that it would sell him the future. But perhaps the future predicted by the voice is the people who have been patiently waiting for it. People who believed in the current Jamie. And the people who once again became his reason to live. Perhaps this is the future they are building together. To join them in rising to the top of the industry, an even more influential face of the company is needed. This number again. The drama, 28 Weeks, A Flower Blooms in the Palace will become a mega hit, conquering the entire world with record ratings. Finally, the most long-awaited news. Jamie asks Will to find out about the drama. We need all the information, channel, production, scriptwriter, director. Jamie is suggesting to bang his head against the wall again. Apparently, he smells money. They say the work is good, but the investor is clumsy and will ruin everything. Due to over-the-top advertising and excessive investor interference, the supporting female role takes center stage, and the finale ends in failure. The owner of the drama needs to be properly checked. Jamie meets Jane Lee, an account manager for Aegon Phantom Laptops. Aegon asked that the meeting be held strictly confidentially. This is Kyle Chan, account director for laptop advertising. They received all the materials from the company Aegon Electronics. Producer Harry Huang is running out of time, and the entire schedule has been thrown off due to the model change. Carol Han graduated from the academy, but without a proper career, they brought in some no-name model. First, Kyle Chan will talk about the concept of advertising. A father gives his daughter a laptop before exams, and a new world opens up on the laptop, and the daughter immerses herself in it. And suddenly he starts dancing. This is the climax. Jamie asks Carol if she can dance. The dance doesn't seem difficult, and by the way, Will is a dancer. Carol dances well, she studied. This is how she imagines herself. But in reality, it looks completely different. Helen asks if Carol really learned to dance. Filming of the commercial is in 2 weeks. Will have to intervene. Carol doesn't need to learn this, it's perfect as is. Such crazy twitching cannot be inserted into an Aegon advertisement. On the contrary, Carol's dance is just right. At least the director recognizes her dancing skills. The concept of the advertisement is an unexpected comedy. You need to make people laugh with a crazy dance. Then the advertisement will play. Carol asks what the benefit is. Typical of director Khan, a warm story with Paula Stone's grandmother, and now a comic dance concept. They will create a popular image for Carol and completely clear her past with this chance. She will try. The day of filming the Agan laptop commercial arrives. The crew of Paul Stone's film was also invited to the set to show their support for the grandmother at Carol's debut. Grandma looks 10 years younger today. Filming has already begun. The atmosphere is so-so. Carol is asked to make her face more cheerful. Ad director Ben Clark is losing patience. Carol may have been a little stiff, but Helen thought her acting was excellent. It's unclear what the matter is. The director is either being picky or trying to establish discipline. It's outrageous that Ben's daughter was displaced by some no-name. The set is the director's territory. He will make this bitch leave. Some familiar take. Dad brought a gift. It's a laptop, but not the one she wanted. The director orders to film again. And again. And again. Ben can't repeat the same thing anymore. Carol seems to have come for a walk. Let him get out of here. They brought some no-name. Poor Carol is having such a hard time. This isn't an old people's club. Ben tells you to take Grandma out. What a psycho. When Jamie brought Helen to Korea, he promised to let her do things her way. She's going to make a scene today. Jamie stops her. It's up to the president to decide. He approaches Ben. He asks what he is doing here. In response, Jamie asks who Ben is. Ben is surprised that he addressed him informally. If he didn't hear, Jamie will ask again. Ben is the director here, and he is interfering with other people's filming. The film crew's producer is enjoying the situation. Agan Electronics employees don't pay attention, but only the employees of Voice Entertainment are guilty. The expression on this man's face clearly shows that he is the king of this court. But this bastard doesn't know who the real king is here. Ben asks why Jamie came here. He should apologize. Don't make Jamie repeat himself twice if he wants to stay on this set. Let him apologize to those he offended while he still has a chance. Jamie has no right to tell him what to do. Enough, the scandal is already getting bigger. Harry better shut up if he doesn't want to be out of a job. It's not clear what he's even doing on the set. His job is to make sure that this kind of crap doesn't happen. But he just sits and watches. Jamie calls the Agan Electronics staff. He asks why they are just standing and watching. They say that such things are common on the site. That is, they sent only such freaks. The director is a complete freak, a man without a conscience, a power-hungry redneck. The producer is not even able to regulate the process. Jamie already has a shitty reputation, and now he's preaching here. Everything Ben and Harry have been up to so far will have to be laid out in the open. Jamie tells Carol to leave. Paula Stone's team should fold up too. Jamie won't let his people work on such a shitty site. Looks like there's a laptop ad today. Jamie Khan's projects continue to deserve special attention. They take on the matter as if it were Agan's own business. This guy is no gift either. Jamie knows it's hard to control the rank and file, but he thought it was a gift, and it was infested with dung flies. The product is a next-generation high-performance laptop, but the people in charge are stuck in the last century. Stanley better figure it out himself. Jamie hangs up. Stanley orders an immediate investigation into the advertising. It's strange why Agan is suddenly acting so strange. We need to be more careful. We'll have to sort this out somehow. The director is calling. Harry probably wants to quit. He was sent to regulate the process. Let him go to Jamie Khan right now, get on his knees and beg for mercy. They called from the top of Agan and said that they were terminating the contract. Harry may not even know how much this advertising costs. It's sad that it came to this. Not even 10 minutes had passed when Harry jumped out. Funny picture. Harry asks for forgiveness. His actions were frivolous. It will not happen again. He asks to change the decision. He doesn't know how to apologize properly. It's not Jamie we need to apologize to. It's them. Harry kneels again. Jamie gives him 2 days to find a new director. If the same crap happens again, he'll change production. Harry is coming back. Ben offers a drink. Harry tells him to go home. He was fired. And to hell with Agan or anyone else, advertising is now closed forever for Ben. So Harry only wants to save himself. After this case, he will not remain in the same place either. Stanley did say to pay special attention to Jamie. He stated that he wanted to change the director of this advertisement. We must do as he wishes. He probably has his own plans. Filming of the Agan laptop commercial, which had been suspended, has resumed. The atmosphere is just great. If anything happens again, have Carol call right away. The new director is just super. He was different from the very beginning, respecting the actors and crew, uniting the set into a single whole. A few days later, when the work with the new house was almost completed, the long-awaited call came. There are 7 uses of the paid bronze service remaining. To continue, you need to press 1. Moving to a new office soon, it would be good to get investment information. Director Kim Sang-bong is embroiled in controversy over his use of harsh language. As a jury member at the 18th International Independent Film Festival, Euro 85, he declared that all the films submitted were complete rubbish. Without Kim Sang-bong, Hong Kyung-man's collapse would not have been easy. If the scandal escalates, it will also affect Kim's student, Ted Myung-hoon, and even damage the film The Killing. It's strange why Kim made such a harsh statement. Jamie understood. The reason is that what he said is true. A master's eye is never wrong. This film festival really did only feature trash. Jamie showed his grandmother something she shouldn't have seen because she has a very special relationship with Carol. Especially now, at the end of the film, it's even harder for her. Filming is almost finished. The scene where Carol, who has just made her debut, leaves for Seoul remains, and Grandma is left alone again. But the plan included more than 10 months of filming. It was an early version, there was no investment or distribution then, and the direction was not documentary, but art house. Thanks to Jamie, they were able to focus solely on filming. He helped them with voiceovers and assistance, and they were able to film for a whole week instead of the usual 2 days. This means the film can be released soon. If it makes it to the festival, it will touch 3 million viewers. There are 2 months left until the deadline for applications. The editing room is free now. The end of the murder is still far away. It is standing idle. Jamie wants to employ her for post-production on their independent film. Distribution can be discussed with VIP Pictures. This film festival is so important that the famous Kim Sang-bong was invited as a jury member. Organized by DBS Educational TV, the winners will receive not only a screening in their cinema, but also broadcast coverage of the film's creation. The film, My Mother, Paula Stone, may even attract more than 3 million viewers. The move to a new office, which had been in preparation since last year, is complete. It's so beautiful here. Helen designed it all. Carol really feels like a star. She is the star. There are people here who are meeting for the first time, so it is necessary to formally introduce themselves. First up is Head of Management and Acting Coaching, Helen Steele. Director Hank Soo helps with security and organization. And the head of the department, Patrick Sun, who also leads the team. It feels like they are of the same make. Everyone knows Carol and Lin. This is Diane Hwajan, a former idol who is now training to become a composer. Tom is a big fan of hers. This is their youngest, Tom Jones, now in his 2nd year of high school, just a baby. He is not a baby, he is 18. But someone was missing from the very beginning. It's Will, and he's just running in. Information about the drama has been released. This is a drama from cable channel WTVM, which is the last of the 3 cable channels. It's funny, the drama's rating for the underdog is 15%. It looks like 28 weeks will be put on the grid after the current mini-drama on WTVM ends. Comedia Production is a new company. The director made his debut 3 years ago, and the screenwriter is a complete unknown. To be honest, there are no particular reasons for success. The script seems to be ready up to the 6th episode, but there are some problems. It's related to investors. They seem to be making fun of the script. So they play with the actors' screen time. It's clear that investors will spin the script. They said to increase the role of a minor character. Apparently they have some protégé of the actresses, so the director is trying to persuade the screenwriter. If they're still fighting over the script, that means the investment hasn't been confirmed and casting and crew contracts are also stalled. Looks like it's time to take action. Jamie asks if Will can get his hands on the script for this drama. It's not easy, but Jamie knows that Will can handle even the impossible. Then he orders Palboche. Now is not the time to dig in your heels. But it doesn't make any sense at all to rewrite everything, starting from the 3rd episode, when up to the 6th has already been written. He also wants to make a minor character almost the main one. The producer understands that this is her first job, but if investors don't give her money, everything will go down the drain. They still need to sign contracts with the film crew. Time is running out. But you can't shake the script from its roots. If so, a scriptwriter is not needed at all. It's better to have someone sit down to dictate. Abby could give in a little. She's a newbie after all. So, it's okay to bully a newbie. If word gets out that they screwed up the project, they'll never be allowed to work again. Matt's heart breaks. He chose this project because the script was great, and he was sure he could do the best job. But reality turned out to be cruel. A newbie screenwriter, a new production company, the eternal 3rd cable channel. In their position, the investor is the absolute boss. Especially considering the actress he had his eye on. But Matt can't just quit the drama, someone has to play the villain. Stop crying, they don't even have time for tears. The script needs to be corrected, otherwise the drama won't start. We need to add more scenes to the secondary character and some lines. Matt will film the rest somehow. A meeting with a new investor has been scheduled. Only Will came. They have a great office. Looks like some kind of swindler. Will tell you everything now, he's almost here. This is the investor who personally made the decision, their director. Jamie enters. Recently, he became interested in dramas and watched a lot of projects. Their work was the most interesting. 28 weeks, a flower. Blooming in the palace is a fusion sejuk where the main character, a history teacher, is transported to the Joseon era due to an accident. After witnessing the prince's fall, she uses her knowledge to help him return to power. A gripping drama that masterfully intertwines history and romance. Particularly juicy, ear-catching lines, and also a charming tiki-taka between ancient language and modern expressions. Among all the drama scripts, including broadcast ones, this one is the one that has caught my eye the most and has great potential. This is exactly the same reason why Matt chose this project. Jamie wants to invest if he's not too late. He came at the most opportune moment. Jamie agrees to the contract, but he has conditions. There is no need to make senseless edits to the script. They say that a drama depends on the screenwriter, so let Abby write as captivatingly as she does now. Matt should select actors as intended in the script without distorting the roles. Finally, the director should avoid excessive product placement that breaks the flow of the story. But even with Jamie's investments, the budget may not be enough. He will invest $3 billion. This is more than 60% of the entire budget. According to the plan, they don't have much time. Then you can sign the contract right now. Jamie will transfer the first tranche tomorrow. As the project began to gain momentum, a teaser trailer and original soundtrack were released in advance. Jamie must have listened to the promotional soundtrack that was previously released along with the teaser. The song is good. He saw that it was already in 9th place. Kyle Chan asks Jamie to go to Power Music immediately. There is real chaos there. The song is in 2nd place on the overall chart and 1st on the trending chart. This is 2 days after the release. Kyle just sent a message in the chat asking for the name of the model from the teaser. This is a copy of the email they received yesterday. More than 5,000 such letters were received. Calls with inquiries are still coming in, and there are thousands of requests on the website and on social media. Kyle asks for a press profile of Carol Han. There are 2 weeks left until the main commercial. Until then, they will only be showing short reels featuring the mystical image from the teaser. So Jamie wants to build up the mystery and then reveal Carol's unexpected charm in the main commercial. In 2 weeks, the spotlight would be shining on her, and she had to act faster than Jamie thought. Time began to fly. In voice entertainment, the busiest person was Helen, who had just finished filming the movie My Mother, Paula Stone. She immediately took charge of the company's website and its social media pages. First of all, the actors' profiles were supplemented. Carol's fresh look in the teaser immediately caught the public's attention. Meanwhile, editing of Paul Stone's My Mother also began to pick up speed. I also had to follow the progress of the 28 Weeks project, a flower that blossomed in the palace. The day has come for the launch of the main advertisement for the Aegon laptop. It begins. Dad bought a laptop. Ultra lightweight, next level data processing. That's why the 4D dance is just right. This is a phantom laptop. Feeling of another dimension. World 4D. This is too corrupted an image. Carol is doing well. Her name is on the list of the most popular search queries. It's really addictive. Tom should be at training, but he still needs to congratulate Carol. As expected, the reaction was immediate. They were inundated with letters of invitation for Carol, mostly entertainment programs. Carol truly became famous. There will be a crazy amount of things to do now. No one remembers Carol Han as a victim anymore. All invitations are now declined. We must row while the water rises. Jamie is right, now is not the time. Until the premiere of the film My Mother, Paula Stone, they will continue to arouse people's curiosity. They want to send Carol even further and higher. We need to have a party today. The next day, Voice Entertainment sent a delivery. But they didn't order anything. These are Aegon Electronics laptops. Today, Chen Surim came to give Jamie a gift. Due to the significant increase in sales after the laptop's advertisement, their boss prepared this. In the future, if Jamie needs any appliances, let him tell Chen. Jamie asks me to tell you that they are very grateful. And thanks again for last time. Thanks to Jamie, Aegis was able to carry out the purge of personnel. Otherwise, they would have missed the criminal. He only chose the blind spots of the cameras. If Jamie needs anything, he can contact Chen at any time. Jamie asks if they ever talked about camera blind spots. They didn't say anything, and the police didn't investigate this aspect either. We need to dig into Chen's past. Carol's popularity didn't wane after the backstage reveal. Ads reached the top of search results every day. More and more people recognized Carol. She was worried about people looking at them. Lynn said they needed to buy eggs. If this continues, it will be a success for Paul Stone's film as well. At that moment, which seemed so calm, everything collapsed. 5 people die and 12 others are seriously injured on the set of the film Mr. Kim Ho-goo's Hope. Due to this incident, the film's premiere is cancelled. The film stars Mickey Gonu. He made his acting debut in Grandma, where he played the younger brother and followed Jamie around like a brother. They became so close that they often drank at Jamie's house. So this is how they will meet again. First, we need to prevent an accident. Filming today, less than 2 hours left. Due to the crowded exit number 8 of Station XX, there is a high risk of an accident. A cordon is needed. Filming in the metro is rare. The resolutions are complex. There are too many people and noise. That's why they usually film everything in one day and choose night or early morning. But now is rush hour. Jamie arrives at the filming location. 15 minutes until the accident. Jamie tries to make his way through the crowd. This won't work. It's better to determine the location of the accident and block it. But the voice did not name the exact location of the incident. The protective fence is weak and can be torn down by a crowd in an instant. The security workers are busy with something completely incomprehensible. and the wires are thrown all over the place. And everywhere there are shards of glass and bottles. It could be an accident, but during rush hour, the cars hardly move. 5 dead, 12 wounded. Here, Jamie realizes where it might happen. Ventilation box. He's Jamie Khan. There's a security threat. He's asking for your cooperation. The crowd parts. A schoolgirl tries to make out the location of the filming. Someone accidentally pushes her. The girl is about to fall right onto the busy road, but Jamie manages to grab her. The car passes very close. Hank finally arrived. They found people. There's 1 minute left. We need to cordon off the ventilation shaft immediately. Hank tells everyone to get off it immediately. It begins. There is one more person left. The pipe broke. The last person standing on the box found himself in mortal danger. Jamie managed to grab his arm. He saved him. It's true, Jamie Khan, he's absolutely amazing in person. A schoolgirl takes a picture of him. The second director appears. They don't have permission to interfere with other people's filming. He demands to call the person in charge. Patrick's son tells him to move away. Jamie is in charge here. We need to tell the director to stop filming immediately. The schedule is too expensive to be turned off so easily. Jamie should understand such things. But after the rest, apparently, his brain is completely rusty. Crowd pressure can lead to deaths, and the barriers are in poor condition. It's a complete mess with wires, bottles, and broken glass everywhere. Even if there is a risk of an accident, the location is not monitored. Hank took pictures of everything. This could be included in the death patch just in time for the premiere. If they want to release the film peacefully, let them get security in order and reschedule. The director must stop filming immediately if he doesn't want to end up like Jamie. He will hand it over right now. Finally, the police deign to show up. For some reason, it's very noisy. Maybe something happened. There's Jamie Khan. Mickey Gonu rushes to the window. That's true, Jamie. So he really is coming back. I wish I loved Mickey and Fred as much as I loved Jamie. Fred is also his favorite, but in second place. I need to see Jamie soon. While Will was on set, he did something again. He came to Gwangju to focus on business. If he makes such a noise, a crowd of journalists will come running again. Jamie hasn't seen everything yet. Yesterday afternoon, at the site of the ventilation shaft collapse, information was confirmed that, thanks to the quick thinking of actor Jamie Khan, a tragedy was avoided. The schoolgirl thought it was a filming, and if Jamie hadn't saved her, she could have died. The voice doesn't give out information for free, but it's unclear how this relates to Mickey. They had everything planned out, but the release of the drama 28 Weeks was suddenly postponed until next year. This is a script by Laura Chon. With her name, the ratings will be absolutely high. Yes, Abby Green is little known, but they read the script. It's really great. A good script doesn't guarantee a rating. Something more reliable is needed. 28 Weeks is Jamie Khan's choice, so it makes sense to stick with his choice now. He's a walking bomb. You never know what's going to pop up next. In addition, the actors Greg Terrian and Tim Minsook have already been confirmed. Tim Minsook is their actor. Matt told the investor who wanted to promote the idol to a supporting role to Hell, and it turns out he's friends with the director of Tim's agency. If Matt had just tweaked the script and cast the actors, this wouldn't have happened. Enter WTVM's drama division producer, Ray Seong-ho. He has no professional ethics at all. Ray was no better. It was Matt who worked hard to cover up the holes he had made. Matt has 3 days. If he brings in a better actor, he will take the slot for himself. Let him bring Hannah. This is a singer-songwriter who is blowing up the charts. A devilish charm that has captured even the screens. An icon of a generation. Bringing her in 3 days would simply mean closing the drama. The chance must be fair. If Ray brings Hannah in 3 days, it will not just be a placement in the program. The director will even give up his place. There's nothing on the schedule anymore, and Hannah still has to go to the company for some reason. Her manager thought he would leave on time for the first time in a long time. Hannah looked at the project he sent. It was complete crap. It seems like the director is going to push her for her next drama. Hannah didn't want to say it, but the final episode of the HTVC drama she starred in scored 14%. She's not an actress who's easy to get. The next project still needs to be taken, but this time it needs to be really good. Abby learns that the broadcast has been postponed until next year. It's not all over yet. Jamie and Will enter. They were just discussing the main character. They have Greg Terrian and Tim Minsook, top-class actors. They need to somehow raise their level. It seems there is no one suitable. It's not so much about the main character now, but the main heroine, and that has to be Hannah. So, all you have to do is find her. Perhaps the problem with the main character will also be resolved. Jamie will contact them later. He seemed to mean that the main character wasn't worth worrying about. This means that Jamie himself will play the main role. This can't be. So Hannah. This is really ridiculous. When Jamie was returning from preventing an accident, he received a call from that same number. Hannah's OST, Love 366 Days, is suspected of plagiarism. There are 2 leads. Hannah releases a plagiarized track, and her former company attacks her. She turns 25 this year. She debuted at 16, and her last 4 albums have all topped the charts. She was even nicknamed the Voice of Heaven. She started acting 6 years ago, just when Jamie's mind was starting to crumble. She plays very well, and every project she chooses has taken off. This is definitely a goose that lays golden eggs. The former company definitely didn't want to let her go, but for some reason they're attacking now. Jamie asks Will to find out about Hannah's former company. She has only had one company for 9 years. This is Soul Ring Entertainment. There is little time left until the end of the contract, but there is no word about an extension. And it seems like they've been very meticulous about Hannah's image lately. She is not one of those actresses who is easy to get. Jamie has a card that can make her move. So he had such a card, and he didn't tell Will. There was no time for this. I needed to meet with Hannah as soon as possible. Will found her manager, but her personal number is difficult to get. Here is her number. Helen had it, and she didn't tell. When Hannah first started playing, she gave her lessons. So they didn't know that Helen had been corresponding with Hannah all this time. There is one thing that needs to be done. Here is the reserved room. Hannah is dating Helen. She missed you so much. Jamie came with Helen. Helen did say there would be a surprise. Hannah thinks it's a blind date. This is not a date. Jamie has 2 suggestions for Hannah. Here's the first one. This is the script for the drama 28 Weeks. Jamie wants Hannah to play the lead role. When she reads the script, she will understand that this is a very good drama. But they have their own actors. Jamie couldn't imagine anyone but Hannah playing the character. He saw all her work, and it made a strong impression. Many singers go into acting based solely on popularity, but Hannah is different. Besides, she has an interesting image. She looks young, but inside there is a thirst. This duality creates a strong immersion. This was especially noticeable in Night Lover. Hannah really loves this job. However, she is not the kind of person who can be lured anywhere. Jamie knows this. She has been very careful lately, both in music and in her activities. After all, she is preparing for a solo career. Jamie must have been in a hurry to have already made inquiries about her. It's not them who are in a hurry, but Hannah. Jamie will move on to the second sentence. The song, Love 366 Days, is plagiarism. This is a song by Paul Shark, Powerful. Jamie is overstepping his bounds. Let him listen. If Jamie's words are true, it will decide her future. Hannah is listening to a song. This part is exactly the same as in her OST. She shuddered. Usually it's not the singers who are responsible for OST plagiarism, but the production company, but if the singer is Hannah, the story will be different. If she does go solo, there won't be a company around to cover everything by the time the album is released. It's like Jamie is blackmailing her. Yes, he will blackmail, but he is not talking about Hannah, but about Soul Ring Entertainment. They know what Jamie knows, but the director just remains silent. And then the articles will start pouring in. Hannah recorded the song knowing about plagiarism. So Jamie wants her to believe it. She already knows the answer, the reason why she wants to leave. This time, a Chinese investor is an opportunity to bathe in money. Then, Hannah can do whatever she wants. This is her career, and it is her responsibility too. She wants to grow as an actress. She's been too thoughtful lately. There's no need to try to carry everything alone. The higher and brighter a bird flies, the easier it becomes a target. Hannah asks why Jamie is helping her. He helps not her, but himself. His actor should not be harmed. She still can't catch up with Jamie's acting. He plays as if he wants to appear selfish and arrogant. Hannah wanted to leave, but she held back because she also needed to clarify something with him. She asks why Jamie helped at the tube station then. The schoolgirl he saved is Hannah's cousin, Jessica. Then someone opens the door. This is Mickey. That's the reason why Jamie saved that schoolgirl. He hasn't spoken to Mickey for 5 years, and now he suddenly shows up and tells him to star in a drama. Helen asks how Mickey got here. He missed her so much. She needs to tell Jamie off. He's so self-centered. So Mickey gone is the reason why Jamie saved Jessica. That's right, it was the set of the movie Mickey was in. So Jamie came to see him that day, and Jessica was there, and he saved her. So he came to see Mickey. Jamie didn't protect the schoolgirl, but his actor's set. Mickey is the main character of the drama, 28 Weeks, the flower that bloomed in the palace. He didn't say he would play the lead role, so it won't happen. He didn't say he wouldn't, but he didn't say he agreed either. Jamie meets him 5 years later and immediately says this. Hannah asks when she needs to give an answer. See you tomorrow. It is impossible to make such a decision in one day. Jamie is confident that this drama will definitely be a success. Hannah reads the script. Screenwriter Abby Green, some unknown. Her pen is simply crazy. They are on a tight deadline. Even if they bring in an A-class actor in 3 days, that's a problem. These actors are constantly dragging their feet. It's important to move the filming forward quickly now, but they have agreements. There are already rumors of budget cuts in the drama department. Jamie enters. The director said to bring Hannah. Here she is. This is impossible. Maybe they are looking for a better actress than her. In no case. Jamie is an investor, another actor. This is Mickey. Jamie prepared a gift for the director. This is an article by Park Do-hoon, the casting of the leading roles in the drama. 28 weeks has been completed. Hannah and Mickey gone are a combo you can trust. The director doesn't fall for that kind of clickbait. By the way, Park Do-hoon is already conducting a fact check. He asks if the director knows of any cases where the channel steals actors from junior producers. You must adhere to principles and keep your promises. Let Ray do it right. Their drama is starting production. Hannah's outfit is already over the top in terms of brightness, so the costume shouldn't stand out. First, we need to approve the route for that set. Hannah joins Voice Entertainment. Jamie made her instant coffee. There is only one like this in the director's office. Hannah imagined it a little differently. We need to save money. Jamie asks if everything is sorted out with the agency. Hannah has sorted everything out. It's a shame on the one hand, but now she wants to wear clothes that suit her. She may be interested in Voice Entertainment. She came to pay Jamie back. The information about plagiarism can be considered part of the deal, but for saving Jessica, Hannah should thank him separately. She will be taking part in the OST of 28 weeks. Her results on the charts will definitely help the success of the drama. She was completely immersed in the script when she read it and wants to convey those emotions through song. Speaking of the OST, it looks like Jamie will be the one giving Hannah a gift. They recently brought in a composer who is perfect for the project. She's a former idol. She has an amazing sense of melody. When Hannah listens to the guide, she'll understand everything herself. Jamie has confidence to spare. Maybe she will pay off the debt with something else. Something suitable should be found. Jamie wants to continue trying together. Anyway, he hit the jackpot with this OST. So Carol and Tom have to audition at 28 weeks. Lynn is starting training for a web drama soon, and now she needs to build her foundation, as she has only recently started acting. Playing powerfully takes time to develop the internal skill. The roles that Carol and Tom will be auditioning for are villains. This is necessary in order to expand their acting range. A good actor must be able to work with different characters and emotions. That's clear, but Carol also has a laptop commercial, and the premiere of Paul Stone's film, her image could suffer. That's why they postponed her participation in entertainment shows. They don't want her image to become fixed in one template. Carol, whom they see day after day, is a very bright and sweet person. But there are dark times in the past behind this, and she is determined enough to storm into the press conference. They believe that there is still much unknown in its history. When an evil character appears behind a kind face, it gives the character depth. So Lynn is not voluminous, she has too cold an appearance. Will didn't mean her, but pork is cheap and fresh. In any case, this audition is a great opportunity to reveal their potential. But the probability of failure is high. The fact that they are from Voice Entertainment will be hidden, so there will be no benefits from the investor. Carol's fame after the laptop commercial is a double-edged sword. They might say that she's a show-off model who got into the industry thanks to her popularity in this industry. Bias is stronger than it seems. Tom is closer to the type the director wants, an impudent but somehow not hateful asshole. Bold on the outside and soft on the inside, a dual appeal, but being a newbie is a risk. They will choose between an experienced actor and an 18-year-old greenhorn. On stage, they are not students, but professionals who must compete on equal terms. If they think it's hard, they can refuse because the real test comes after the audition. When they stand in front of Mickey Gonyu or Hannah, all their acting flaws will be exposed in the spotlight, and that moment will be forever etched on film. Will is already getting heartburn from this speech. They should go to the audition and give it their all. Perhaps Jamie is underestimating them too much. This is the look he needs. You have to go to an audition with this attitude until you snatch the role. They didn't invest in the drama so that only the company would get money. From this moment on, the hellish training begins. This includes food. Pork and tonkatsu are prohibited for Carol, and first she needs to learn the script by the evening. Next week is the final day of filming. Jamie should be with them. Then they will see each other on the court. The last day of filming The Killing has arrived. It seems like just yesterday that Jamie announced he wanted to make a film. But there are problems ahead, and the biggest of them all is him. He appointed only no-names to the roles and managed to bully 3 of the largest investor distributors. He even derailed Hong Kyungman and the entire FNF, and now there are a lot of people in the industry sharpening their knives and waiting to be cut. Liam is right, they are lying low, hiding from public opinion, but they are probably already actively moving. That bastard John Jungwoo from Tyson Food framed FNF as a victim and got away with it. Jamie takes everything too seriously. Liam is 100% sure that if he does everything as Jamie says, his life will turn upside down. And this is said by the man who dragged him by the scruff of the neck. The focus has slipped, the route has changed compared to the rehearsal. The atmosphere is great. A strange calm can be seen on the faces of the employees. Although production is still to come, their confidence in giving it their all is evident. A making of film, press releases, a major marketing campaign, all about to launch. Now Jamie is just an extra, the main characters are those people over there. Tesu told Hannah not to live like him, but for some reason she came here. He must escape at least now, finish everything here before it's too late. So I have to run away again and survive alone. He won't run away anymore. He will go to the end and he will go with Hannah. The final shot lasts 20 seconds. Stop. They all worked hard. Lin really did a great job. It was fine. They paid more than part-time jobs. John was just looking for Jamie. Enough of the prevarication. Today is the obligatory drinking session with the team. Jamie can count himself lucky that John is now almost bleeding to death. Finally, it's all over. As befits Korea's top actress, Kelly brought her top-notch performance to the final frame. She needs to remove her makeup. We need to add 10 servings of meat. The director is here. He fell. John finished filming today, and Jamie is already asking if he's chosen a new project. Jamie said he would give the photo back when they made the movie. He said he would give it back when the film was released. Jamie doesn't know that John won't screw up. It's not clear what it is about this movie that makes Jamie so stubborn. It will attract at least 9 million viewers. Jamie is already drunk. He's been resting for too long, his instincts have completely disappeared, movie theaters aren't what they used to be, and it's hard to raise 3 million. Then they will argue. If it goes over 10 million, Jamie gets priority for John's next contract. New voice entertainment agency. Then if Jamie loses the bet, let him return to acting in the film that John chooses. Jamie will stand next to him as a supporting character. Kelly is completely drunk and running around yelling where Jamie is. A few days after filming wrapped on The Killing, Paul Stone's independent film was also wrapping up. Finally, the edited version is ready for submission to the festival. It's still not boring at night. In a dream, children come, chat for a long time, and leave. This is enough. This is happiness. We need to prepare a few more versions. This is to get a reward. The picture is calm, but emotions are seething like waves, and Jamie himself is moved. Now, they will have much more to do. Jamie asks if they are interested in an exclusive contract with the independent film team Voice Entertainment. In Jamie's picture of the future, they were there from the very beginning. It's a great honor for them. They won't let him down. 2 films that will bring him back into the mainstream are in the process of being completed. The web drama Agen, starring Lin, was also actively planned, with youth-targeted marketing timed to coincide with the release of a new smartphone. But then a script arrived from the production company. This is garbage. Both the drama and the advertisement are a failure. There are almost no visible differences from other dramas. Web dramas have almost zero profitability because they are advertising projects, and the script is a copy of standard ones. This drama is aimed at an audience in their 20s and 30s, and they want to advertise it with such a trivial story and hackneyed dialogue. Jamie doesn't want to make claims against them. Since this is an advertising project, Agen's marketing department should have checked it. The difference compared to the laptop campaign is too big. In fact, Agen is filming this drama for show. Most of the budget goes towards TV advertising and influencers. They themselves feel sorry, but they did it the way the client wanted. There are only 2 requirements: production within 2 months and a minimal budget. They have neither the time nor the authority. Jamie knew it was because of the web drama Agen. That's why the voice called him. He called just when John wanted to argue. There are 3 uses of the paid service remaining. The first option is a voice, the second is 2, the third is 100 million, the fourth is 11 in the morning. Jamie chose 100 million. The web drama, tender melodrama, created by the student team Sniminim Storas, is gaining immense popularity among young people and reaching 100 million views. After that, Jamie spent several nights in a row analyzing student web dramas, and after a long search, he found the team Sniminim Stojania Raza. To sum it up, they mean that since the money is going to be wasted anyway, it might as well be done in a slapdash manner. Then, the script needs to be replaced. Jamie doesn't know what Agen thinks, but he believes the web drama is a powerful weapon that can reach more customers. He wants to prove it and increase his market share, so he would like them to have more business too. But if the deadline is 2 months, there is no time to edit the script. Jamie has already prepared the script, of course. The directing team will have to correct it. He will also take responsibility for coordinating with Agan. They will set up a schedule and contact you immediately. That's some charisma. Jamie is so damn sexy. He changes the script and wants to add 4 students from the team, shoot it 100 times to the film crew. These are 4th-year students from Garum University Broadcasting Club. Jamie never does anything without reason. Stanley reads the script. He doesn't understand anything. No difference can be seen. Then they will leave things as they were. It needs to be changed. They are selling this to children, and children know best what they like. But launching a new smartphone is a big project. Exactly. Such a large launch has such a meager budget. Students need to be involved. Stanley may not know much about drama, but he knows one thing when Jamie Khan gets going: it's money. He wants to sign a contract with the team Sniminim Stojas Raza. This is a web drama for marketing the new smartphone from Agen Electronics. They will make a remake of their yesterday's work. Therefore, the script will need to be revised. Writer Sally Mijin will be busy in the near future. After all, it was she who wrote the tender melodrama. The emotional lines and dialogues are incredibly subtle. It's a story she's going to perfect, so they're counting on her. Jamie needs to answer the phone. They actually signed a contract with Jamie Khan. and it's a web drama called Agen Electronics. Jamie gets a call from Hank. It's not certain yet, but it looks like the puzzle is starting to come together. They started moving. As expected, there was a backlash to the information about Chen's CCTV blind spot. Another unforgivable mistake. Anyone who knows about this child's existence cannot be left alive. Especially if someone keeps getting in the way around him, the plan will fail. Jamie Khan must be eliminated. Chen had cast the perfect bait. This time, he would find his own grave. In Yumsong County, Chungcheongbuk-do Province, lawyer Chen Surim has a separate residence. It is registered under a fictitious name, and he is rarely there alone. Based on the pattern analysis, this is a place to meet someone or to hide something. A new person was recently spotted there. This is Fred Jinte, the man who was the boss of the agency where Jamie worked 5 years ago. As his decline began, Fred Jinte arbitrarily scheduled a double fan meet and disappeared. Hank was keeping an eye on him on behalf of Liam. He was the one who first lit the spark of the fall. It is still unknown why this man is here. He is always only in the outbuilding. At least it is confirmed that he arrived from Hong Kong 2 months ago, just when the Agen laptop commercial was being filmed. There may have been a three-way connection, including John Chong. Hank doesn't know that Jamie has a secret file on the Tayson Food Company. Fred Jinta is just a small fish. It is even more absurd that John Chong, who needs to avoid the prosecutor's investigation, brought Fred here right now. This means that Chen also doesn't know about the existence of the secret file. If he thought he could get Jamie's attention with Fred, then it's understandable that he brought him to Chong without John knowing. If this hypothesis is correct, then Fred is Chen's decoy and John's weak point. Perhaps only with Fred's help can we kill two birds with one stone. We need to check what exactly he was doing in Hong Kong and continue to monitor the activities of lawyer Surim. The film My Mother, Paula Stone was submitted to the DBS International Independent Film Festival. The prediction regarding the selection of a site for the second HY technology plant has also begun to come true. 5 regions have been named, but it is likely that the site will be in the village of Opo in Gwangju. The level of applicants is really high. Carol and Tom passed the first stage of casting. VIP Pictures launched a distribution plan disguised as an official press conference for the production of the film Assassination in order to break through the atmosphere in the film industry that had been suppressed due to Hong Kyung-man. The teaser, published in the media, generated a great deal of interest, and the distributor gave the project the highest rating, ensuring maximum screen time. The online presentation on Naver TV, YouTube, and other platforms attracted 300,000 viewers. This was the moment when Jamie's suggestion to get closer to the audience worked. They abandoned the casting of experienced actors and invited newcomers en masse, perhaps taking the Hong Kyung-man scandal into account in advance. As a person in the film industry, Ted Man-hun feels deeply responsible for this unfortunate incident. The film, The Killing, is not the story of one hero, but of many unknown people, so from the very beginning of production, they focused on attracting talented newcomers. Ted would like to stand here with all the main participants. He just hopes that this incident doesn't overshadow their efforts. Even in such a difficult situation, Ted expresses deep gratitude to the investor who gave him, as a new director, and the actors a chance. Ted is asked who this investor is. He'll still appear in the opening credits, but the one who believed in their film and invested in it was actor Jamie Khan. He thought out the plot to perfection. After 5 winters, flowers began to bloom. There's no need to worry about listening. You can act as usual. Will ate roast pork, in case Helen is worried about him. Finally, he arrived. This is Jamie Khan's first official meeting, and you can't miss a single shot. The situation is as expected. From today onwards, he finally takes to the stage. Matt came to meet him as he asked. If Matt wants them to work together for a long time, he has to become a star first. Today, Jamie came as a member of the jury at the casting for the drama. He also invested in it. It's Matt Thorne's work, 28 Weeks, the flower that bloomed in the palace. Carol is so nervous that she can't breathe. She keeps saying strange things, and Tom has a stomachache too. Carol would have calmed down if she had looked at Jamie's face. Don't talk nonsense. He definitely won't come here. Besides, if he sees how scared they are, he will probably kill them both. Perhaps that is exactly it. It is absolutely necessary to get through this final stage. The actors are already waiting. They will finish for today. There was such excitement even before filming began. Ray Seong-ho is standing nearby. Someday, he will crush these bastards with pleasure. He ruined everything by acting on his own. This is too much. The character analysis failed. The candidate was only trying to demonstrate his own charm. The next one, due to the tension, lost her voice, lack of basic technique. Jamie seems to be in a bad mood today. He doesn't say anything at all. Perhaps this is because actors often make mistakes. After all, I have to play in front of Jamie Khan himself. He has a simply insane aura of presence. So it's because of him. The ability to cope with pressure is also part of the test, so this is even a good opportunity. It's true that if they can't withstand even that kind of pressure, they won't be able to play the role of the villain in this project. Next, Carol. She wonders why Jamie is here. Abby noticed this girl at the first stage. Unexpected situations are a challenge that an actor must overcome. Jamie will see how much Carol has grown during this time. Her pathetic mouth just begs to speed up her own death. You can't even buy a grain of rice with high-flown words. She's not interested in such empty, reality-detached speeches. Burning through the humiliation and anger that Carol had swallowed all these years, she created her own unique villain. She's cheeky, but there's something sweet about her. It was good that Jamie was here. She just saw his face, and for some reason, she felt calmer. Then it was Tom's turn. He wasn't even surprised by Jamie's presence. He doesn't know his place. This is not the stage he should be climbing into. He is so stupid, but some merchant can't know anything. Tom did a great job of portraying a nasty character that you can't really hate. He is one of those people that I like more and more. At first, Carol and Tom had to be taught the pains of playing unnoticed supporting roles, but soon they would find themselves in the spotlight. Finally, the last issue. You can't do it with a child. The woman has no one to leave him with. It's okay. Jamie will look after him. He takes the child in his arms. A knight, no less. They say that today is his mother's last chance. The boy asks to be sure to take her. She can handle it. The woman was preparing for the role of the main character's mother, but if she is 40, that is a little young. She has a lifetime preferential project due to her age. No matter where she is not humiliated. She is very funny. If she had waited for her daughter to start earning money, she would have been sitting on the street and earning money by beatboxing on the church porch with her fate. She has nothing to expect from luxury. She delivered a raw but sincere performance that conveyed genuine emotion and a strength deeply rooted in everyday life. And even behind her deliberately indifferent expression, it was impossible to hide the warm heart that, mixed with her special charm, enchanted everyone. So let your daughter take care of herself. She has enough worries as it is. He is a model supporting actor. In the end, Jamie didn't say a word, and it's unclear why he came at all. Matt saw his audition notes. The pros and cons of each actor, their growth potential, their suitability for the role, everything is described down to the last detail. These aren't notes, but rather an almost analytical report. Jamie asked me to convey that his opinion is for information purposes only. He trusts Matt's decision and asks him to properly focus on production. Abby wants to write the drama starring God Kang. The entire internet is currently flooded with the drama 28 Weeks. This is real madness. The news of Jamie's appearance on the channel was all the rage, with the morning entertainment media vying to make headlines. Jamie was just waiting for the right moment. Now we can expand the scope and use it however we want for the sake of the drama. A week later, the internet was still buzzing with news about Jamie and the drama 28 Weeks, which was already considered the most anticipated project of the year among netizens. Comedia just contacted them. Here is the final list of those who passed the casting. Both Carol and Tom passed. It turned out to be much more exciting than Jamie thought. But he wasn't interesting at all. He grew up before Helen started raising actors. But lately, thanks to the guys, there is a feeling of satisfaction. By the way, there is another one that has passed. She played very well, looked terribly evil and nasty. Jamie calls out to her. He watched her play with pleasure. He heard that today's casting was her last attempt, and he wanted to ask if it was possible to change this decision. Jamie is also involved in management and is sad to miss out on such an expressive performance as hers. Maybe she wants to try working with them. All the participants from Voice Entertainment passed the casting for the drama 28 Weeks. This news quickly spread throughout the television company. Jamie also develops actors, production, investments, management. He has been sharpening his knives for 5 years. They say he brought 3 actors to the casting for the drama. 28 Weeks, it seems they hid the names of the agencies so that they would be judged only by their skills. This means that all the actors from his company got into the drama. This really smells like a fixed game. Meanwhile, the pre-selection process was underway at the DBS International Independent Film Festival. From more than 1,000 works, only 100 were selected. Critics, professors and producers were exhausted to the limit. Next, my mother, Paula Stone, is the woman who participated in the Human Theatre program. This will at least reach the Merit Award. Fred Jinte moved to Hong Kong 5 years ago and opened an entertainment company there. There is information about the recruitment of trainees, but the strange thing is that not a single artist has debuted in 5 years. Either the business didn't work out, or it's a fictitious company. It looks like a money laundering channel in Korea, which is probably why he operates in a separate house. Judging by the time, John Chong was involved in the Hong Kong part, but there is definitely something in that house. Jamie needs to take a call. The paid service bronze has 2 uses left. On the morning of the 9th of next month, actor Jamie Kang was found dead in his car on the side of the road near Yumsong County office. The police will find that there are no signs of a struggle in the car and will close the case as suicide. So Chen Surim does want to kill Jamie, and it is precisely when he is in the media spotlight that So Chen was also hunting Tom. He plans to get rid of Jamie because he ruined everything. Then he threw the badge there on purpose. It was a planned trap from the very beginning. Chen is not capable of this alone. Behind this lies a struggle for the inheritance of the Agen group. Jamie will give Chen back the full fear of death he experienced. He returns to the office. We must go and check for ourselves the truth that they hid in that house. But there is serious security there. They're just starting to get back on their feet, and they can't let them ruin everything again. We need to check everything before Fred Jinta leaves Korea. The fishing is good. We can start working. Chen Surim hid a trap, but now this trap will become his grave. Megafox is showing great activity in relation to independent cinema. Depending on the results, there is the possibility of gaining even more screens. Once CCV responds, they will confirm the release date. The tense everyday life continued, no different from usual. At least on the outside, everything should have looked that way. Jamie walks out, the man he had a meeting with. Then, he approaches the car that has pulled up. Jamie gets into it. A mirroring program was found on the laptop. Fortunately, the phone, office, and car are clean. So it's a fake phone. They will be placing hidden guards near Jamie for the time being. As he already said, Fred Jintae is a decoy. It is imperative to find another behind-the-scenes player with whom Chen Surim is dating. The first script reading for the drama, 28 Weeks, A Flower, Bloomed in the Palace, begins. He's Matt Thorne, the director. This is the screenwriter, writer Abby Green, and this is her first script reading, and she's very nervous. And also with them is their main character, Hannah. The leading male role is played by Mickey Gonu, Carol Han, and the youngest, Tom Jones, and the up-and-coming Molly Dow. All from Jamie Khan's company. The lineup is just insane. For now, there will only be whispers that this is Jamie's company, but soon everyone will find out why these particular actors are taking their places. They broke the shell themselves and came out, becoming monsters who had climbed over the wall of despair. The boys' diction has improved a lot. It's no wonder Will secretly fed them pork bulgogi. Stanley calls. Jamie's tone is too formal. It doesn't necessarily mean there's business to call. They say Tom auditioned for the drama because Jamie said he had outstanding talent. It's not a talent, it's all thanks to training. Stanley asks if Jamie is sure about the promise he made back then. He said that Tom needed to become so famous that no one would dare touch him. The most important thing is how much Stanley believes in Tom. By the way, Jamie is just talking about him. He suggests having lunch together sometime. Great idea, but Stanley has a 2-week business trip to Japan starting tomorrow. Jamie asks if lawyer Chen Surim is coming with him. Stanley says no. Jamie wanted to ask for a favor regarding the web drama. Stanley had already arranged for it to be handled properly. The 2-week business trip coincides with the date of the prediction. Chen clearly intended to eliminate Jamie in Stanley's absence. And the next target will be Tom. But they won't be able to lay a finger on him. An important link has been discovered. It is the man that Chen Surim is meeting with. Julia Gray, wife of Stanley Jones. The man next to her is Aegis's head of security, hired immediately after the attack incident. The relationship between these three has been going on for quite some time. So during the purge, Julia Gray introduced her people. Rumor has it that her suspicious shell accounts have recently been actively buying up shares in Agen's subsidiaries. If these two are in cahoots, one thing is certain: Julia Gray knows about Tom's existence. She tried to eliminate him to seize control of the Agen group, and when Jamie became a liability, she tried to get rid of him too. This must be verified personally by director Stanley Jones. A calculating man like Chen Surim wouldn't ignore the risks to avoid taking on everything himself. He would probably have prepared insurance. They need to find a guest house and hand it over to Stanley. He will carry out the internal cleaning of Agen himself, and they will take care of the Hong Kong direction. The plan is already ready. With the help of Chen Surim's trap, they will catch him. Fred Jinta is flying out on the 9th of next month. Apparently he let his guard down and made the mistake of meeting in an open place. The fact that Fred, who was sitting in the outbuilding, began to move means that Chen threw them bait and is waiting for them to swallow it. If they miss this chance, there's no telling when the next one will come. We need to intercept the route and grab Fred on the way to the airport. The real game ends in silence before the cue is given. Now Jamie will say what Chen wants to hear. On the 8th of next month, they will go to the outbuilding. This is the last chance to catch Fred. Jamie took the bait. Everything must be done without mistakes. Don't worry, this will be the end of him. It's all just beginning. The next day, Stanley flew to Japan. Julia Gray hopes he doesn't suspect anything. It's okay, all of Agan's information eventually goes through Chen. Stanley is sitting on the plane. Someone places the phone on the armrest of his chair. This Jamie Khan is completely out of place. There is a note taped to the phone asking Jamie to contact him when he is alone. The situation is urgent. Park Do-hoon asks to apologize for his impolite behavior. 10 days later, at Chen's house, Fred is worried about whether they will really finish everything today. They say this bastard is coming. Fred can't rest easy. It can be considered that he is simply relaxing in his homeland for the first time in a long time. If this guy enters a radius of 1 kilometer, he will not leave alive. It's time to move on. Jamie started moving. Someone enters the room. Chen should go up and take a look. This is the recording right before Jamie left. An urgent report was received and contact was established with the Aegis group at the scene of the attack. This is a close associate of the criminal who is now in prison. There is an audio recording of the person who gave the order for the murder. This is lawyer Chen Surim, so the prisoner was just a scapegoat. Chief San is due to make contact in Incheon in 2 hours. Jamie will also go to Incheon. If the information is reliable, Stanley Jones will figure it out, and once the shield in the person of lawyer Surim disappears, catching Fred Jinta will become easier. The priority is to find the bastard who touched Tom. If this is true, the evidence must be destroyed before it reaches Stanley. They are already heading to Incheon. They need to move forward too. As expected, an actor like Will can't be absent from such a party today. He will demand payment for both overtime and the night shift. Vans arrive at an abandoned factory in Incheon. It looks like contact is already taking place. Due to the distance, the signal is poor, but signs of Jamie's presence have been detected. Under no circumstances should he be left alive. They must comb through everything and not miss anyone. There is no one here. A man from the Agon group appears. He hangs a lock on the door. Here comes someone else. Chen is flooded with headlights. People get out of the cars. Stanley arrived. What Chen is looking for is not inside. They are from the Holdings Audit Group. A special audit is being conducted within the group on suspicion of theft and breach of trust. The robbery of the empty house was successful. Thanks to the audit team, they entered without any problems. Black cash books, fictitious accounts, and even materials pointing to materials in the assault case were discovered. Now Jamie and Fred can talk. Covering Stanley's eyes and ears, Chen, along with Julia, tried to rob Agon. Within a few days, Stanley had emptied out all their dirty dealings, call logs, dummy accounts, reporting lines, every last speck of dust. The badge Chen dropped caused Stanley to completely reconsider the stained direction of the Aegis Guard. This is a misunderstanding. Stanley Jones is Agon. He throws Chen to the ground. He has a choice: he can rot in prison for the rest of his days, branded with the crime of attempted murder. Either he will pay for the embezzlement and breach of trust and quietly disappear from the sight of Stanley's son. It's certainly not a choice. The very fact of Tom's existence is already a huge risk. Stanley has already prepared material that reveals all the ins and outs. Tom will still come out into the world one day. Stanley simply doesn't want Chen, whom Tom has trusted since childhood, to be wounded by the realization that he was a vile demon who tried to kill him. Stanley barely restrains himself from using illegal force. There is no need to test his patience any longer. This is his last mercy. What happened 5 years ago was a mistake. Fred was also deceived. He signed without knowing the truth. If he's talking about events from 5 years ago, then Jamie is already fed up with it. Today, he wants to talk about something else. He went through that hell because of the falsification and the false guarantee from Fred. He also had considerable debts in the Macau casinos. Of course, John Chong covered them up. Fred doesn't even know this man. The former successful head of the agency has sunk to this. At first, Jamie thought the entertainment company Fred founded in Hong Kong was a money laundering shell company. But no one would trust that kind of money to a man who had wasted his life gambling, and then he wouldn't return to Korea for a few pennies. Eventually, John Chong gave him a job in his field. A vile agency that exploits children, holding their dreams hostage. There is information about the recruitment of trainees, but not a single one has debuted. I wonder where these children went. Enough of this speculation. Hank enters. They found Black. As expected, this was not just a diversionary tactic. So this is how Fred was going to get rid of Jamie. The media would have written that he fell asleep under the influence of prohibited substances, then the rumors from 5 years ago would have become true. A perfect scheme in the spirit of Chen Surim. That's why Fred got caught too. For Chen, he was a bargaining chip from the very beginning. This is from an emergency plan found in a safe. If anything went wrong, Chen would blame it on Fred. He thought that this time too, it would all come down to catching Jamie. But the real target wasn't him at all, but the family of the owner of the Agon Group, and black metal is a prohibited substance that the prosecutor's office is now hunting for. Fred is finished. He will beg like a dog. He was blackmailed too. He will do whatever Jamie says. You can do it this way. Agon's owner doesn't know about Fred's existence yet, and Jamie doesn't care whether he gets his comeuppance or not. He will give Fred a choice: either he tells everything about the business in Hong Kong and returns home, or he and Jamie go to John Chong. Fred will tell everything. If John finds out, it will be the end for him. He began to lay out everything he knew about business in Hong Kong. His role was to transfer locally recruited trainees to brokers. After this, the broker handed Fred a bag that was intended for delivery to John Chong. The bag contained Black. It was assumed that the trainees were then used to service clients and distribute illegal substances, but Fred himself did not know the details. Human trafficking and drug trafficking, John Chong's financial power, originates from there. Fred just did what he was told. He asks if he really can go. Can. He will repent and sit quietly all his life. There really is no one here. We need to get out of here quickly. The road ahead is blocked. The car arrives. The audio recording is also received. Fred asks what happened. He is told to get out of the car. He was arrested on charges of human trafficking and aggravated false imprisonment. He is also accused of forgery of documents and fraud committed 5 years ago. There is also an attempt to escape and drunk driving. That bastard Jamie had no intention of sparing him from the start. Fred has been detained. Hank could change his profession and debut as an actor. He doesn't fall for such tricks. It looks like things are growing faster than expected, but the road is still long. Today, Jamie will limit himself to just one thing protecting Tom. Jamie gets a call from the head of the VIP Pictures department. Good news, Paul Stone's film has been selected for the DBS competition program. Among festival participants, their work is already being called the Discovery of the Year.